is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers.
The president, who was joined by cabinet officials, lawmakers, and farmers, said he hopes the billions in farm aid will also lead to lower prices for Americans. Greg Clugston, Washington.
At their final meeting of the year, Federal Reserve policymakers are expected to announce a quarter-point interest rate cut. That two-day Fed policy meeting will open later today. Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett launching a campaign for the U.S. Senate seat held by Republican John Cornyn in Texas. Both Crockett and Cornyn face primary challengers for their party's nomination. At least 20 people have died in a multi-story office building fire in Jakarta, Indonesia, and there are reports of people trapped in the building. Watching Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures are up 51 points, NASDAQ futures ahead 7 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Just how good Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright. The sun will shine by day and all the stars at night. Melakalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. Take it, girl.
Can I do it? Do I dare? All right. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm in. I'm going in. Where are you going? Going in the chat room. Literally taking my life, my career, and my sanity into my hands. But I fear not. Greetings, all you crusaders across the amber waves of renewed farm equipment. Mike Church Show here. We are live, asking the question today.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized
Into the first
Galactic Empire! For safe and secure society!
So I'm calling on Congress to pass these reforms, and I'm going to sign them into law. You fall down the thunder, well, now you got it. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Alrighty, Oakley Dokley and all that sort of jazz. Our call-in line, telephone number, let's just give it out what it is. The Jeff Johnson line is 844-526. Since he's the only one in the last year, other than Doug in Chicago, that used it, 844. So if you want to call the Doug Jeff line, 844-527-8723, 844-5-Crusade. Email address same as it ever hath been. Has it been used properly this month? I think I may have one in the inbox I haven't read yet that's proper. I am KingDude at protonmail.com or KingDude at mikechurch.com. Crusader Stadium chat room is open for your commentary at crusadechannel.com/chat. And this portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Trading Post Store. We are your Christmas Advent HQ 2025. Check the gift sets out. If nothing appeals to you to give to a friend, family member, or a frenemy, try a gift card. Let them decide. Gift cards are easy, take less than 60 seconds, easily cashable by anyone on earth who can operate a web browser. Shop.mikechurch.com. Well, Texas has thug life. Yo. Running for the United States Senate. I'm not really surprised by this little twist or turn of events here. Although the way that it happened yesterday and the way it was rolled out. Jasmine Crock has done it. She has decided she is going to run for the United States Senate in the great state of Texas. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up that the real reason for this is because she has this much of a chance of winning.
0.0.
So why do it? Dude, do you know how many tens of millions of dollars you can raise to run for the U.S. Senate in a state as large as Texas?
Millions and millions.
Millions and billions and billions. This is a supreme act of selfish grift. She's not going to win. She might not even win if there's a Democrat primary. She may not even win a Democrat primary. But it doesn't matter. Because now you file the paperwork, and now you could send the fundraising letters out, and you can bring in the Hollywood usual suspects or whoever else is stupid enough to attach yourself to your doomed campaign, and you start bringing the millions and millions, which will amount to tens of millions of dollars. This is how this system works. And all the while, you could say, oh, no, I had to take the luxury plane to fly all the way across the world to sub-Saharan Africa. Oh, no, we had to fly first class when we took our trip to Bali. Oh, no. There was a fundraiser that I attended in Seoul, or wherever else it is that you want to go. So for the entirety of the time that she's in the race, pretty much what Kamala Harris did. Remember an $80,000 podcast set? Mm-hmm. Remember, this was just lavishing campaign funds on friends and other criminal, crooked associates. And that's all this is. This is you're going to raise a bunch of money, we're going to blow it on ourselves, and we're going to lose. So what I found the most just hysterical, she pulled a Hillary. We're going to play you some side-by-side comparisons of Jasmine Crock campaigning or running her mouth a mere 2 weeks ago. We're not talking like this is the ancient past. 2 weeks ago. Sounding almost, dare I say, scholarly. Although she wasn't scholarly. And then last night, this rollout, dude, Lil Wayne. You could have changed that sign instead of Crockett for Senate, Lil Wayne for Senate. You know what? I kind of like Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne would actually be more palatable, more acceptable. It was 100% thug life. I mean, remember when Hillary went to Alabama to run for president and she was doing her tour across the South? And all of a sudden she started talking like, and this place been run like a plantation, and you know what I'm talking about, when she's in front of a bunch of Southern black people. The line is actually in the Hillary You're So Vain song. It's actually in the song. And then somebody noticed that, does she have a drawl? Does Hillary have a drawl? And sure enough, you play down to the stupidity, or what you think is the purported stupidity of your audience, and that's what Hillary did. And of course, the rest, as they say, is history because she lost. As a matter of fact, during that particular race, she lost to Obama. That was in 2008 when she put the fake Southern twang on. Because it's in the Oval Office Dreaming song. And her fake Southern twang. So this is what Jasmine Crockett served up yesterday. Again, I don't even know. Is this for... I think this is for Cornyn's seat, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's Cornyn. I don't think he's running. So, is it going to be Greg Abbott? Is it going to be Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor? Is it going to be, or is it going to be Chip Roy? Somebody, there's a slew of Republicans in Texas that could run for that seat. I don't know who it ultimately is going to be, but they will be the victor over whoever the Democrats nominate. In any event, we'll talk more about it. I just think that this is a circus. And this is what the United States Senate, it's a joke, what it has become. There's a feud now. Yesterday, somebody asked President Trump when he was rolling out his the things he's trying to do for American farmers, which by and large are a positive. They're good. For example, telling John Deere and International and Kubota and whoever else is making tractors that farmers are buying, ignore whatever it is that Biden did. It's all gone. I nuked it. It's gone. We need to get all this environmental crap off of these tractors and farm equipment. It doesn't do anything anyway. Just makes them more expensive. And then he jokes you got to have 185 IQ to start a lawnmower these days. With what's going on with that, with Trump trying to make, and this is part of, I believe, a continuing concerted effort here to get government out of our business. So while this is happening in Texas, Trump is answering a question about this thing called the Grassley Blue Slip. I actually had to look this up because I didn't know what it was. Apparently, there is a policy of sorts. Now, the Senate can make its own rules up, so if it has this rule, it can change it. Apparently, there is a policy that in the United States Senate, if the president nominates people to be circuit court judges and U.S. attorneys in whatever state, before they are confirmed, the Judiciary Committee, if there are members of the Judiciary Committee that are from that state, two examples, Virginia, which would be Kane, New Jersey, which would be Booker, and Blumenthal. If they're on that committee, then Grassley sends them supposedly a blue slip of paper called the Grassley Blue Slip. And then he asks everyone on the panel that if you're okay with the nomination proceeding, send the blue slip back to me, and I'll count the votes, kind of like Survivor. I'll count the votes, and we'll see if the nominee is going to go forward. If he doesn't get the blue slip back from just one senator from that state, they'll kill the nomination.
That's just insane.
Now, to hear Grassley tell the story, this is to keep, what we're trying to do here is keep the Senate power and the accountability in the Senate for the nomination. You don't have any power. You don't get to make nominations. If you want to make nominations, run for president, Senator. That's not what the Constitution says. I know a little bit about this, and that's not what the tradition was. President makes the nominations, and in your advising consent role, you either approve them or you decline them. You don't have a role in choosing who it is. Well, the states have a role in this, the states have a role in that. Well, then when the states vote for president, then hopefully they vote for the winner. Then that's their role. As I keep saying, you either trust the CIC or you don't. This to me, though, is profoundly ridiculous. Now, I'm all for sending power back to the states in the U.S. Senate, Senator Grassley. If you want to do that, let's work on repealing the 17th Amendment. That way, if you make an improper choice in the Senate, your state legislature can recall you. You know that the states had this power all the way up until 1916. And according to Hair Dr. Kevin Gutzman, because I asked him this question, I said, how many senators were actually ever recalled by their state? And Gutzman said, well, Mike, essentially
0.0.
None. No senator was ever actually recalled. Then I asked a follow-up question. I said, well, how many were threatened with recall? He goes, oh, well, that's a different question. That I don't know, but I'm certain that there were literally hundreds of incidences. This is the role of the Senate. The Senate is supposed to represent the states. Grassley's right. In that instance, that's true. Sorry, Senator, you gave that away. When the 17th Amendment was ratified, you gave that power away. You said you didn't want it. You didn't want the Senate representing the state legislature and the state Senate and the governor. You said instead you wanted morons with this thing called a vote. You wanted United States senators to answer the lowest common denominator there could possibly be, as Kevin Gutzman used to call them, Gruber voters. You traded the august practice and the little r Republican practice of U.S. senators answering to their state legislatures. You see how that works. House of Representatives represents the people. Doesn't answer to the Senate or to the state legislature or to the governor or anyone else. The senators represent the state. Now, you could say that, well, the state legislature has to answer to the people. Well, that's true. And should do the people have a check on who is chosen by the legislature of any state and sent to the U.S. Senate? Well, they do. They can elect a state representative, assemblyman, whatever you call it in your state. You can unelect or term limit out a senator in your state, certainly governors and lieutenant governors and what have you here. So, the founders devised a pretty decent system. You screwed it up with the 17th Amendment. Putting this stupid Grassley blue slip thing back in there. All this is doing is basically removing power that belongs to the president. Either approve the damn nomination or don't. But you can't give it to a single U.S. senator to go like, I'm going to put a hold on that. Apparently, there are literally hundreds of Trump nominees for various judgeships that are being blocked. I shouldn't say hundreds, dozens that are being blocked by blue state senators. All you need is one. Now, I'm not sure the exact term. For example, is a federal circuit court judge appointment, is that for life? That would make a difference. It used to be that, and then there was another justice or judgeship, if you will, that they used to decide upon. If the appointment is for life, so then in a blue state or in a red state, you could get stuck with the Democrat for Louisiana that hates all of us.
That lives to be 90.
And that lives to be 110 years old. Similarly, in the state of New Jersey, you could get stuck with a circuit court judge that's going to live to be 110 years old, who is the re-embodiment Strom Thurmond of South Carolina. So, you're going to kind of understand a little bit of the concern there. Well, then change the rule. Change the rule. So the Constitution says that Supreme Court justices are appointed for life. I think that this federal judgeship appointed for life business is just nonsense. What's the tradition there, KingDude? The founders, but I don't think the founders saw judges being partisan hacks that lived to be 90 years old, ruining and overturning basically the will of entire legislatures. This is just, you look at this, the whole thing is just ridiculous here. You might even say that this just kind of puts a fine point on the focus on the fact that, oh, wait a minute now, if I live in New Jersey and I want leftards running roughshod over me and defending my right to kill babies and do all the other things that I'm doing here, shouldn't I then be entitled to have leftard judges that are going to do exactly that? Well, if you did actually have this thing called democracy, well, then, yeah, you would. To me, this just kind of points out that the entire thing has become an absolute mess. Grassley's trying to fix it with this ridiculous blue slip program, and Trump is going like, listen to me, Grassley, I'm the president. You need to remove your stupid rule. Okay? By the way, Grassley's is he 93 or 91? He's in his 90s. He's not going to be around.
He's 92.
He's 92. Well, Well, then again, hello, Robert Byrd of West Virginia basically died in his Senate office. I want to say he was like 98. And West Virginia just kept sending him back. The whole thing is ridiculous. We'll talk some more about it. Yesterday, Florida designated the Muslim Brotherhood as a terror group, NCAIR. That's the Council on American Islamic Relations as foreign terrorist organizations. You might note here that in the state of Florida, republicanism and little r republicanism and democracy seem to be alive and well as long as Governor DeSantis is the governor. These are actions that have been taken inside a state to go like, well, we're going to say you can't be a member of either one of these groups. Now, this one is interesting. The Council on American Islamic Relations, I'm pretty sure that they have a registered lobbyist in Mordor. That they're kind of like AIPAC. It's just the opposite, though. Instead of it being Israelis, it's Arabs. Interesting that DeSantis would designate them as foreign terrorist organizations. I wonder what's going to happen when this gets in front of one of those blue judges we were just talking about. Speaking of, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson put on another hell of a show of stupidity yesterday. It's actually entertaining. Okay, all right, solicitor. All right, follow me here, okay? You and I are going to disagree, but it's okay. Follow me here. Okay, the humpback whale. Does he actually have a hump? Now, you and I are going to disagree on this, but I'm from the school that says, the Constitution says that the humpback whale actually has to have a hump. And I have never found a hump on a humpback whale. So why are we arguing about fishing rights for humpback whales when the humpback whale doesn't have a hump? And of course, the Solicitor General sitting there going like, are you talking about the same case that I'm talking about? Yesterday, the fireworks were over, and this is just so stupid and so ridiculous. The argument that, well, what we should have, you see, once these agencies are created, we should have experts running them, not presidents. Right. Experts. You actually want to live in an expertocracy. Oh, what could possibly go right? Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be experts. We're just going to kind of call them experts. But, yeah, experts. We have all that. The arrests continue and the Catahoula crunch here as the ICE agents are just having it's like shooting the proverbial fish in a barrel here in Louisiana.
Best in Catholic philosophy, history, and saints.
Well, I'm the new gal at this monastery, and Jiminy Christmas, after 4 years of auto pens, social media heresy, I could use some Catholic philosophy.
Well, call yourself a blessed girl, because new episodes debut Wednesdays at 8 Central, and there's over 475 podcasts available on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and educational radio.
The way it should be.
Thousands of years ago, if you owned a book, you had to haul it home in a wagon, and you'd need your two oldest sons to carry it into the house. Then you'd need one family member who could read.
The Story of Beowulf.
Another to hold the candle.
Hold it steady.
And another to turn the pages.
Not that close, you'll catch it on fire.
The good news for you is that was then and this is now. And now you have the Founders Trading Post store, where ordering, delivering, and reading your favorite books is literally a snap. Here's what's new this month.
Flee from Heresy, from the one and only Bishop Athanasius Snyder, a Catholic guide to ancient and modern errors.
This title and many other new releases are available alongside classics and favorites 24/7 at shopmikechurch.com. You can also shop using your app. Download and shop today at shopmikechurch.com/app.
Hello, Crusaders. I'm Ron Stafford at the Crusade Channel News Desk with your Crusade Crucials for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. This report is brought to you by the all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app, the best way to listen to the KingDude ever. Installation is so easy. Just open up a browser on your device and go to crusadechannel.com/app. Tap the download button and then open the app. It's literally that easy. U.S. stocks pulled away from their record highs yesterday. The S&P 500 slipped 0.3% for just its second loss in the last 11 days, but it remains within 0.6% of its all-time high set back in October. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 215 points, or 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite edged down by 0.1%. Notable birthdays for December the 9th is Tabitha Babbitt. She was born in 1779. She was the inventor of the circular saw, the spinning wheel head, and false teeth. Wow. Our quote of the day comes from St. Angela Merlissi. Do not lose heart, even if you should discover that you lack qualities necessary for the work to which you are called. He who called you will not desert you, but the moment you are in need, he will stretch out his saving hand. And our saint of the day is Juan Diego, and you can learn all about him in today's Saint of the Day podcast at crusadechannel.com. You're listening to Crusade Channel News.
Hello, Crusaders. It's Trader Jill, a.k.a. Lee. When I want the best in live talk radio in the palm of my hand, I always have it with the all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app, even for technophobes, like Jim.
I heard that!
Listening to or watching the KingDude live or on podcast is just literally 2 clicks away, and installing the app is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. Tap login now or proceed as guest. See? It's really that simple. Don't ever be without the Master Chief himself. Again, no matter where you are, install the Crusade Channel app today.
The all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app is the best way to listen to the Crusade Channel ever. And installation is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. It is literally that easy. Install the Crusade Channel 2.0 app today at crusadechannel.com/app.
The Mike Church Show. A lone voice crying out in the wilderness.
What rights do you think you're referring to?
Rights, like in that official paper that they wrote down the street there?
That's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, the Bill of Rights. Don't it say something about going after what makes you happy?
No, that's the pursuit of happiness. But what's your point?
My point is I'm pursuing something and nobody looks too happy about it.
He's defending your pursuit of the right to happiness by way of the truth since Rocky IV.
Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody.
The Mike Church Show is heard exclusively on the Crusade Channel.
Well, did you see President Trump's declaration on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception yesterday? There are Catholic bishops that couldn't write that. As a matter of fact, maybe Trump would make a better bishop than most American bishops. Also yesterday, according to Sachin Jose, there was a mass held in the White House for the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. And if you look at the photograph, Mr. Church, you mean picture. People like in pictures. Yeah, if you look at a picture or the photograph, that's a TLM setup. It's got the chalice veil over with the paten on top. And I can't tell who the priest is because I only saw one picture of it. In any event, did the Catholic, Joe Biden, ever have a mass said on any Marian feast the whole time he was there? Did he ever have a mass? Regardless of what the day. Hell, Was Sunday treated as a holy day of obligation in the Biden White House? No. So, again, thankful for the little things. President Trump began yesterday presidential message on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. I was just blown away by this because I'm going like, okay, which one of the Catholics in the White House wrote this? I mean, this my old dear friend and priest friend, Father Ian Bozan, who's right down the road at Saint what is that? Is that Saint Anthony of Padua in Baltimore? Or is it Ignatius? No, it's. I've only been there once. Whichever fraternity church Father Bozan's at, we read the letter. Yeah, I think it is. Anthony of Padua, or is it Alphonsus Liguori? It's Alphonsus Liguori. This sounds like a sermon that Father Bozant would write. Today I recognize every American celebrating December 8th as a holy day honoring the faith, humility, and love of Mary, Mother of Jesus, one of the greatest figures in the Bible. You don't ever expect that you're going to get that out of any government, regardless of who's running it these days. On the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, Catholics celebrate what they believe to be Mary's freedom from original sin as the Mother of God. She first entered recorded history as a young woman when, according to Holy Scripture, the angel Gabriel greeted her in the village of Nazareth with news of a miracle. Hail, favored one. I don't know what translation they got that from. The Lord is with you, announcing that you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall name him Jesus. In one of the most profound and consequential acts of history, Mary heroically accepted God's will and trust. With trust and humility, behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord, be it done to me according to unto thy word. Mary's decision forever altered the course of humanity. And then he says this. What is the problem? It was working fine earlier. Oh, the split screen's not working. Oh, that's because are you getting? We're working with a green screen, which we've never worked with before. Yeah, I know why it's not working. You want me to tell you why it's not working?
Why is it not working?
Because I have selected key 2. You need to be on key 1. On the right-hand side. And 810. On right-hand, no. In the menu you were just scrolling through, all the way to the far right. One of those pull-down menus says key 1 or key 2. It should say key 1. It says I was trying key 1. You want... Oh.
I want key 1.
You do want key 1.
Try again.
All right. You'll have to figure it out later. For nearly 250 years, Mary has played a distinct role. That piece of equipment is a learning curve from hell. You literally have to sit there in front of that thing for a day to learn how to work it. I was asked to make the green screen problem go away. Ma'am, I tried to make the green screen problem go away. For nearly 250 years, Mary has played a distinct role in our great American story. Did Biden ever say that? Hell, did Kennedy ever say that? In 1792, less than a decade after the end of the Revolutionary War, Bishop John Carroll, the first Catholic bishop in the United States and cousin of signer of the Declaration of Independence, Charles Carroll, consecrated our young nation to the Mother of Christ. Less than a quarter century later, Catholics attributed General Andrew Jackson's stunning victory of the British in the climactic Battle of New Orleans to Mary. True story. Actually, they attributed it to Our Lady of Prompt Succor. Actually, I wrote a documentary about it. Someday I'll get around to filming it, but I did give a talk on it at the St. Benedict Center. Every year, Catholics celebrate a Mass of Thanksgiving in New Orleans on January the 8th, true story, in memory of Our Lady of Prompt Succor's assistance in saving the city. Over the ages, American legends like Elizabeth Ann Seton, Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton, is she a saint? I think she's a saint. St. Francis Xavier Cabrini and Archbishop Blessed Fulton Sheen spent their lives glorifying God and service to others, held a deep devotion to Mary. The Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, located in the heart of the nation's capital, honors Mary as the largest church in North America. The timeless hymn, Ave Maria, remains beloved by countless citizens. Well, Mr. President, you've had it played at all of your major events. You had Christopher Macchio, Ralph Macchio's brother, sing it in 2020 from the balcony of the White House, for example. And just days from now, on December the 12th, Catholics in the United States and Mexico will celebrate the steadfast devotion to Mary that originated in the heart of Mexico, a place now home to the beautiful Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe. In 1531, as we approach 250 years of glorious American independence, we acknowledge and give thanks with total gratitude for Mary's role in advancing peace, hope, and love in America and beyond our shores. Now, I suppose we're supposed to take that, and being the good cynics that we are, print it out on some 8.5 by 11 paper, give it the once over and go like, you don't mean any of it. Besides, you didn't. No, it's 11 a.m. and no one's been arrested. And then throw it into the fireplace and burn it. Or you could just go like, hey, that's really great. Thank you. That's a good thing today. And then he closes actually with the Hail Mary prayer at the end of it. This is on the White House website. That means that planet Earth saw a proclamation from the President of the United States, who was not a Catholic, honoring the feast day of the Immaculate Conception. That's a good thing. No, it doesn't solve all your problems, but it doesn't do anything. Does it fix this? In a policy sense, I suppose not. But then again, are you a praying person, and are you asking for the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary in your life for things that you don't think that you're capable of doing? I just think that this is a stunning turnaround from you had demonic, actual Satanists in the White House. Trannies. You had topless, transgendered lunatics. You had the symbol of pederasty on Easter. Remember that? The symbol of it. We have children nearby. And then you had the Trump White House with the acknowledgement of the Immaculate Conception. I think I'm going to take the Trump one. I'll have White House White House Catholic acknowledgments for 2,000, Alex. And the answer is. Anyway, in case you didn't see it or you just saw it in passing, I thought I would share what was actually said about it, what they actually said in the proclamation. And this is the fourth this year, right? So you got Immaculate Conception, Nativity, Assumption, and I know that there was another one. We're just drawing a blank on what it was. All right, 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. This portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Past Gift Membership Service. Piece of cake. Go to crusadechannel.com/card, or just go to the homepage, at the top of the homepage, and you can give the gift of a 3-month or a 1-year Founders Pass membership, respectively, for $20 or $50. So that's either 65% or 73% off. Give it 1 year for $50. That's a saving of $135. So, how are we supposed to expand the crusade, King Dude? Give the gift membership. And by the way, it's a gift card. I had a mock-up printed out so you could see it. It looks just like this. You can actually print your own because you will get this in your order. You actually get the graphic that made this. You'll actually get it. And you can send that to your recipient, too. You can choose the day you wish for your gift membership recipient to get their gift membership. All so easy. Takes less than 60 seconds. All you need is a name, an email address, and $20 or $50, and you're in. Please share the Crusade Channel. It's how we can grow this thing. You are in charge of the marketing department, and you get to give a great gift. Can you imagine if one of your friends turns out to be a daily contributor in the Crusader Stadium chat room and a Crusader? How fantastic that is and would be. So give the gift of the Crusade Channel, but you got to go and get your card today. crusadechannel.com/card. What else are we talking about here today? I was just looking at the headlines. Well, of course, Jasmine Crockett. Yo. You know, I feel like I'm going to have to play Gangsta's Paradise. You know what? Do you have it? What? Do you have the rap guy that started the whole thing off?
I think
Is that part
I have it. I don't know if you want to listen to that.
Well, I want people to hear. This is how the entire thing got kicked off.
I can't swap it over and just listen to it.
You don't even have access to your other camera?
Nothing. I have to restart the whole thing.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just surprised. I'm going like, wait a minute. I'm going to have to sue this company.
I'm going to have to restart it on the break.
Just restart it now. Okay. All right, here we go. And you're going to lose picture in 3, 2, 1. I was only a second off. By the way, I am traveling to Virginia today. No live show tomorrow. We will attempt to do live from Dude Number 2's house. And where does he even live? He moved. I know it's in King George County. I just don't know the exact location. It's in King George. All right. So Thursday's show will be live. I am anticipating that Arthur Bloom of Arthuriana will be joining me on Thursday morning's broadcast. And then Arthur and I are going to go to Commander John Sharp's house, and I'm going to do that interview I've been threatening to do with Sharp. I'm bringing 2 cameras. I'm bringing the entire audio setup. And Commander Sharp is going to tell the entire story of what the United States Navy did to him. And as he told me in our last conversation, which I didn't know, he told me, he said, Mike, I think I'm actually, and going back and reliving this whole nightmare, this ordeal. He said, I think I'm actually more upset at what the Catholics did to me than I am of what Uncle Sam did. And I said, really? And he said, I'm going to send you the folder and you can see for yourself. So we've been trying to raise funds to offset the expenses of this trip to Virginia to grab this interview and get it live. So to get it on video, not streamed, me in the same room with Commander Sharp, you can make a donation to our December crowdfunding to help that out. It's right there in the Founders and the Crusader Stadium chat room. Okay. Or go to crusadechannel.com/donate. You have Thug Life's kicking off here?
I do. It's terrible.
But it is what it is. Okay, now this is how you kick off a campaign for the United States Senate.
Never scared and she ain't never been. Who is willing to go toe to toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids, they protect folks touching them. Trump invading his own country with our army, what a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats, but y'all thought we wasn't gonna do nothing, buddy, think again. They only trying to scare out of running, cause they think she'll win. Listen, thought I told y'all we ain't never scared. Now look who name on the docket. Got 2 words for every racist bigot. Jasmine Crockett. Y'all hear the words. Me, I hope my money goes to side that isn't trying to say affordability's a hope. She stand on business, all 10 toes. Texas dope, don't need no more bad built, bleached, blonde, butch bodies moving forward.
Okay, hand me the gun.
He got lost.
This is how you kick off the Senate race in Texas.
He forgot the lyrics to his own rap song.
Yo. I'm gonna make it up as I go along. Got it going with the girl. OMG. Thug life for Senate. Well, hey, we've tried everything else. Why not? You know, as I'm watching this and I'm thinking, like, Mike Judge is actually from Texas. Mike Judge is the creator of King of the Hill. He's also the creator of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, Office Space, Idiocracy. There's just a lot of good Mike Judge movies. When Mike Judge was writing the character, President Hector Mountain Dew Camacho. Wasn't that his name? Hector Mountain Dew Camacho? Look, okay, why don't we just try it, okay? I want to get my part, and I want President Camacho to give me my part. You think that, and of course the character was played just perfectly by Terry Crews, the great actor who played President Camacho. I know it was Mountain Dew. Dwayne Alonzo Mountain Dew Camacho.
A-Bear Camacho.
Oh, I forgot A-Bear. Dwayne Alonzo A-Bear Mountain Dew Camacho for the win. Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho from IMDb. The Republic is at an end. Now, maybe the Congo Republic is at a beginning here, but the Republic of Texas is at an end. You people are done. Not even Dwayne Stovall can save you now. Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho, and if you're all, and if you're wondering, do I have it? I think I have. I don't have Terry Crews' speech in front of the State of the Union. Where he goes, okay, man, all right. It's really effed up right now. But we got this guy, not sure. And at the end of his speech, he pulls out a bag of Doritos, and then in the machine gun, and then... Actually, Terry Crews as President Camacho was infinitely more entertaining than Jasmine Crockett was yesterday. Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho. What a president whose time, a member of the United States Senate whose time has come. Now, if you think that we made that up, we did not make that up. That was actually, and you know what else that they did yesterday that I noticed in all the pictures? Did you see that your girl got herself a presidential teleprompter set up?
I did.
First thing I noticed was, wait a minute. You have the presidential or the really important person teleprompter set up. This is the teleprompter that is on either side of the dais. Usually, now if you're a classy person, you place the teleprompter outside of the view of the wide-angle lens. So you do a tight, what's called a one-shot. You do a tight one-shot. Here, follow me. Right here, just like this. This is my one-shot. My teleprompters are going to be here, so you can't see them. So when I go to look at the left and talk to the, and I'm talking to the Kopkas, and then I look back at the camera, take a breath, and I go to my right to talk to the Buccinator, I've always got a teleprompter in front of me, right? But you can't see them. Like if you do the State of the Union address, they do it perfect on the State of the Union. You can't see them. You know, they're perfectly positioned where the camera, the one shot is tight enough to where you can't see the teleprompters. They wanted those out there to go like, yeah, we coming for you, Trump. We got our own teleprompter, yo.
We in the big league.
We in the big league now. She should have, thinking of that, maybe she should have played this as her intro.
Well, we're moving on now. Moving on up to the side. Moving on up
took a whole lot of trying to just get up that hill.
Now we're up in the big leagues. Did not turn that back. As long as we live, it's you and me, baby. There ain't nothing wrong with that. We're moving on up. Moving on up to the east side. Moving on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up. Moving on up to the east side. Moving on up. We finally got a piece of the
That's how they used to make rollout theme songs. We will actually play you the Thug Life announcement. And then 2 weeks ago, so the plan is, this is the plan. We're going to raise all that money from all them gangsters out there in Texas, show. We your choice, Texas.
Now we just talk about making hit records. Well, parody versions of hit records.
Join the KingDude and Jim Mosier as they pick apart the greatest parody songs of all time and the hits they were based on. It's Album Autopsy, exclusively on the Crusade Channel. Live talk and podcast radio the way it should be, and doesn't disappoint your mother.
Once in your life, you find her, someone who turns your heart around, and next thing you know, you're closing down the town. Wake up and it's still with you, even though you left your way across town, wondering to yourself, hey, what have I found? Between the moon and New York City, I know it's crazy, but it's true. If you get caught between the moon and New York City, best that you can do, best that you can do is fall in love. Arthur, he does as he pleases. All of his life, his master's toys, and deep in his heart, he's just a boy.
It's the WWE and the UFC for live talk radio Thursday Night Throwdown, hosted by you. Win a seat at the table, win the throwdown, and then you pick next week's topic.
Now that's real live talk radio exclusively on the Crusade Channel. Radio the way it should be.
Hey folks, it's Mike Church, producer of the Shakespeare Radio Film Festival, announcing that we're offering the entire festival, including Joseph Pierce's commentaries, for just $19.95. That's a 50% discount. This exclusive download will include over 16 hours of festival content. To reserve your Shakespeare Radio Film Festival download at an incredible 50% off, go to crusadechannel.com/Hamlet.
When most people hear the word coffee, they conjure up visions of a ceramic mug in the palm of both hands and a woman slowly sipping. This isn't a Folgers commercial. It's for Capuchin Holy Roast, and here's how I take mine. With a dash of vanilla, a pinch of cinnamon, a spoonful of honey, and lots of heavy cream. Add some ice, shake, and then enjoy, while knowing that's $6 the libs at Starbucks can't spend to ruin my life and yours.
Cappuccino Holy Roast in whole bean or grind is available at shop.mychurch.com. While Trump continues to try and make America great again
by doing Mortal Kombat with the Clinton, Comey, and Clapper crime families.
You forgot the...
Nope, did not. And the king of Russia treason, the Obama father.
Well, we'll always be there for you with the best live coverage and commentary in media on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio
the way it should be.
Back in the
the 90s, there was this thing called the cigar boom, where everyone was buying and smoking handmade cigars. But here's the thing. The popular cigars then were the best-made cigars, like Fuente, Joya de Monterrey, and Avo. Over the next 10 years, craftsmanship was replaced by gimmick and slick packaging, and that's when I decided to get in the business and launched El Rey Dude Corona cigars. 20 years later, I launched Mancipio Maria cigars with that same principle in mind. Make a great handmade cigar, and that's exactly what we do in 4 sizes. I invite you to try a 4-pack sampler of my Mancipio Maria cigars and taste them for yourself in smooth, natural, or bold Maduro wrappers. And to sweeten the deal, I've discounted them 25% for a limited time. And as always, we include a personal humidifier with every order. To order, go to shop.mikechurch.com. Order $50 or more, and shipping is on me. Try my Mancipio Maria cigars today at shop.mikechurch.com.
You may not believe it, but Bram Stoker's Dracula may be a work of non-fiction.
What? That's scarier than getting stuck in an elevator with Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, good grief. Really? Come on, I'm trying to be serious here. Okay.
Hear it and other amazing tales on Turley's Believe It or Else, 10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Tuesday on the Crusade Channel. Our app and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
Everybody loves a good trilogy. The Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and now the KingDude Seasoning Trilogy. There's Beast and Butt Rub, Acadiana Steak, and the brand new Chicken Mamu Seasoning, a lemon herb-based rub that's won trophies in barbecue chicken cook-offs. Now, we've bundled all 3 spices together, and you can get them for one low price for less than it costs to rent a movie trilogy. And the KingDude offers you his personal money-back guaranteed of your taste buds' complete satisfaction. Order a KingDude Seasoning Trilogy today at shop.mikechurch.com.
Hello, Crusaders. It's Trader Jill, a.k.a. Lee. When I want the best in live talk radio in the palm of my hand, I always have it with the all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app, even for technophobes, like Jim.
I heard that!
Listening to or watching the KingDude live or on podcast is just literally 2 clicks away, and installing the app is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. Tap login now or proceed as guest. See? It's really that simple. Don't ever be without the Master Chief himself. Again, no matter where you are, install the Crusade Channel app today.
The all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app is the best way to listen to the Crusade Channel ever. And installation is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. It is literally that easy. Install the Crusade Channel 2.0 app today at crusadechannel.com/app.
Thousands of years ago, if you owned a book, you had to haul it home in a wagon, and you'd need your 2 oldest sons to carry it into the house. Then you'd need one family member who could read.
The story of Beowulf.
Another to hold the candle.
Hold it steady.
And another to turn the pages.
Not that close, you'll catch it on fire.
The good news for you is that was then and this is now. And now you have the Founders Trading Post store, where ordering, delivering, and reading your favorite books is literally a snap. Here's what's new this month.
The Power of the Rosary by Gabriel Castillo, a book that's more than informative, it's contagious.
This title and many other new releases are available alongside classics and favorites 24/7 at shopmikechurch.com. You can also shop using your app. Download and shop today at shopmikechurch.com/app. For 9 years now, Brother Andre Marie's Reconquest has been your source for best in Catholic philosophy, history, and saints.
Well, I'm the new gal at this monastery, and Jiminy Christmas, after 4 years of auto pens, social media heresy, I could use some Catholic philosophy.
Well, call yourself a blessed girl, because new episodes debut Wednesdays at 8 Central, and there's over 475 podcasts available on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and educational radio.
The way it should be.
Brother Mike Church presents Flashback. Sinful things that were happening 20 years ago. Jurassic Park, the remake of Godzilla, and the beginning of Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Are either of you, homosexuals?
You mean like flaming, or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
Let's hope and pray no one will ever confess those sins again. The Mike Church Show. preaching and teaching from his abbey while living here in the present on the Veritas Radio Network's crusade.
Don't go putting none of that stuff on my sled, Clark. You know that metal plate in my head?
How can I forget?
I had to have it replaced because every time Catherine revved up the microwave, I'd piss my pants and forget who I was for a half hour or so. So over at the VA, they had to replace it with a plastic one, and it ain't as strong, so... I don't know if I ought to go sailing down no hill with nothing between the ground and my brain but a piece of government plastic.
Thank Walt Lane for his donation in the Crusader Stadium chat room. Thank you, Walt Lane. Who's next at crusadechannel.com/donate. Here on a Tuesday. Tomorrow is basically a travel day. So that's why there will not be a live show, because there's just no way to get from here to there. You know, if we had Megyn Kelly's 6 producers, then we'd have an away team. And we just throw a couple of $1,000 at it, put them on an American Airlines flight or whatever, or hire them locally and say, hey, you, Smithers, get over there to do number 2's house and set up the live broadcast for tomorrow. And then all I'd have to do is pull a Michael Voris and just walk onto the set and go, here I am, boys. Inside joke. It would be nice, wouldn't it? That we'd be able to travel all over the place. But instead, I am your engineer. I am the IT department. I am the graphic designer. I am the audio engineer. I'm the board up and the mixer. I am the roadie. I'm the installer. I'm the breaker downer. I'm the shipper. Name your position. I could put that hat on. So, no live show tomorrow. Couldn't you get it? Yeah, I probably could if I wanted to. I just don't want to. So, I'm going to enjoy a late evening scotch or 17 with dude number 2. And then tomorrow night or Wednesday night, we're going to some theater in Richmond where National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is playing on an IMAX screen, or a large screen. And the movie is being hosted by Chevy Chase. This was not my idea or not my doing. Dude number 2 insisted that I was coming for this. He voluntold me back in August. He goes, I'm buying the tickets and you're coming, so shut up. And I went, okay, dude. You got to get yourself here, but I'll take care of everything else. I'm like, all right. And then on Thursday, we will go interview Commander John Sharp. And I anticipate this will probably be a couple of hours. And will necessitate some pretty serious editing at the end of the day. Sharp has a story that few people know. And when he gets to the St. Benedict Center and he's not speaking publicly, and we're all just gathered around smoking cigars and having an adult beverage or two, he'll start telling the story. And I told him, for the 5th time I've heard it, I said, okay, you have to tell that story to everyone. Because what you need to know about this is that Sharp was not, I hesitate to use the term conscientious objector because he wasn't. What he said was, after the engagement began, the war in Iraq was a travesty. And he started publishing books about just war theory, basically, the first couple of ones, under his his what is the name of the press? I'm trying to think of the name, but we saw the book Action. The guy that was translated from French into English. In any event, he started his publishing company, which he's allowed to do as a member of the United States Navy. And the Navy caught wind of it, and we're like, you can't publish stuff on just war theory and what have you. And they basically began the process of kicking him out. And then the Southern Poverty Law Center gets involved, and the man's life is ruined. They kick him out. But he sues them. He sues the Navy. And he goes, you can't do that. I didn't violate anything in the UCMJ. I did exactly. I had the right. I still have my right to free speech, but I'm not serving in my capacity as an officer. I never represented myself as a U.S. commander in the Navy, and that these are my views as a commander. They were always mine privately, and you're going to take it back. And you know, after like a decade-long court battle, you know, he actually won, and they had to reinstate him with all the back pay and everything. They had to pay him for all the back pay. They had to restore him to honorable. He is the only officer to successfully challenge, basically, a dishonorable discharge, or whatever they termed it. Don't quote me that it was just that's what they did to him. But he's basically the only naval officer to successfully challenge and win against the federal government of the United States. And of course, for most of these years, it was Obama persecuting him. So it's a great story. And I told him, I'm like, okay, dude, pick who you want to play you in the movie, because they're going to make a movie about it. And I've been telling John, just full disclosure here, those of you that know Commander Sharp, you know what I'm talking about. IHS Press, that's it. IHS Press is the company he started. I've been telling John for 2 years now, because last year I threatened to do it, and then this year I said, okay, I'm going to be doing it. I have threatened to tell John, I told John, I'm like, John, Commander. It's funny, I'll call him, permission to come aboard, sir, and you go, oh, KingDude, stop. But I've been telling him, I said, John, let's get a brief summary of this. Let's write it up, and let's send it to Tucker. You would be far better, and the story would be far better served if Tucker did the interview than me. And he kept insisting, he goes, Mike, I don't care about the hits. I want someone that's going to tell the story and that has a stake in it, and you do, to tell it. I want you to do it. And I'm like, okay, but, you know, millions of people would view it if Tucker did it, and I think he would take the story. And he goes, I don't care about that. I just care about the story, and I want it to be done. I want it to be done right. I said, I'm pretty sure Tucker would do a good job of it. But here we are. He didn't want to go the Tucker Carlson route, even though I suggested it. I pulled myself back, and I said, I want the story to get out. I want the story to get out. And he's our best shot to get your story out so that millions of people can hear what was done, and then maybe we can do something about it. And maybe President Trump hears it and goes, that's not going to happen in the military as long as I'm CIC. So that is the secondary motive for going to Northern Virginia. I believe, as I said, that Arthur is actually going to join me. He because of the lawsuit, you know, someone is suing Arthur as well. He's representing himself. I mean, God love that young man. He's like, no, I'm not hiring a lawyer. I'll do the lawyer myself. And the judge is like, okay, as long as you do a good job, don't come in my court unprepared. He goes, no, Your Honor, I won't. So Arthur has been fulfilling or has been representing himself. In this case, this is a sham. So he's countersuing the dude. I hope the court sides with him, and they have to pay him. But Commander Sharp has been advising several people that you know who during the COVID forced vaccination thing. Commander Sharp has been advising many people, going like, no, we're going to get you reinstated. They can't do that. We're going to countersue them. And there are still countersuits that are going on. I know that Mike Parrott turned him on to some. He and Mike Parrott talked about this. And so Arthur's been talking to him about this because it's a very similar case. In any event, I'm not going to promise you that you're going to get that interview in 8 days, because I'm recording it. I'm not streaming it. I'm recording it on 3 or 4 different devices to make sure that we get it right. So that's the play. But I think it's going to be a great story. Maybe it was dismissed. Like I said, don't quote me on discharge, but whatever they did to him, they had to take it back, and they had to pay him. And that doesn't happen. So that's what's happening. Is Cajun Mama going to come over here and work the board for you? She said she's volunteering. All right. Digital Media Files. Let's get started here. This portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Trading Post store. By the way, I just want all of you to know, I put a link in the chat room of a YouTube video. You got to scroll up a little bit. You know, I still have it. I put it in there again. This video is on the homepage of the new Founders Trading Post page on Pride Book. So I went, you know what? They're not going to take it, but I'm just going to get the rejection notice anyway. So I said, after I posted that video, I'm like, yeah, I want to boost it. Yeah, run an ad for me. And I'm going, Sure enough, I got the letter back. This is from, there it is. Urgent, your ad was rejected. Hello, Founders Trading Post store. Your ad was rejected because it doesn't comply with our ads about social issues, elections, or politics policy. This means your ad isn't running and will not be delivered to your audience. I don't care.
Give me my money back.
Well, no, I didn't pay. Can you play it for people that haven't seen it? See if you think that Pride Book should have rejected this. I thought all this woke crap was and cancel culture crap was over.
You ready?
Yep. Welcome to the Founders Trading Post store, connecting great American artisans, authors, and craftsmen with even greater American shoppers. Sorry, nothing for Somalia. We've been online since 2003, but here on Facebook, we're the new kids on the block. Really? New kids on the block? We want you to know that Hermie, Rudolph, and Yukon Cornelius have worked extra hard this year to make you the most incredible assortment of hand-picked and selected Christmas gift items. Now, this is in addition to our stable of gourmet coffees and seasonings from yours truly. Plus, we carry hundreds of books from literally hundreds of authors. In fact, we have something for almost every non-pinko commie shopper there is. Now, if there's something you don't see in the store, but you'd like to see us carry it, drop us a line. We love representing new authors, craftsmen, and artisans. Thanks for stopping by today. We pray you and your family have a blessed Advent, anticipating the miracle of an even more glorious Christmas. God bless you, and Mary keep you.
Your hand.
What's politically not correct about that? No, it had Trump in it. I put Trump in it. Funny story about that Trump clip. I went to Luma, the AI animation company, and I actually had the image. I found the image I was looking for, Trump clapping. It was an image. And I uploaded it and said, okay, crank out, I want 5 seconds of Trump moving his hands, clapping them together. And that's what it actually cranked out. In any event. What was it? Elon Omar that got me nuked, or was it Karen screaming? It was Elon Omar. All right. Digital media file number 1. Farming equipment. Yeah, but TKD, that's not enough, and it won't make a difference. We're all screwed and hosed. I hope that they take every piece of regulation off And I don't know how you can do this. I think you just use the bully pulpit and you insist, but I don't think you actually legally try and force John Deere or whoever else to lower their prices. You just kind of put it out there like, you're going to lower your prices, dude. Anyone that owns a newer John Deere tractor can tell you they don't like them. People are now looking, the bigger market now is not for a new piece of equipment, it's for an older piece of equipment that has no Bluetooth, no software, and no USB on it. They can't shut you down. They can't nuke you from the satellite. They can't Wi-Fi screw with your tractor or your combine or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. Does this go a little bit of the way towards addressing that? I think it does.
The tariffs. This is possible. The other thing I'd like to add before going to Scott, and I think it's very important, we're going to also give the tractor companies, John Deere and all of the companies that make the equipment, we're going to take off a lot of the environmental restrictions that they have on machinery. It's ridiculous. I know because I buy a lot of that machinery for different things. We have a lot of big clubs with, hundreds, thousands of acres. And I buy a lot of stuff, and you buy it, it's got so much equipment on it for the environmental, it doesn't do anything, except it makes the equipment much more expensive and much more complicated to work, and it's not as good as the old days. And we're going to take a lot of that nonsense off of the equipment, which is going to reduce, and we're going to do it, and we're going to say you're going to reduce the prices. We're not going to do it and they're not going to reduce. They're going to have to reduce their prices because farming equipment has gotten too expensive. And a lot of the reason is because they put these environmental excesses on the equipment, which don't do a damn thing except make it complicated, make it impractical. And you really have to be, in many cases, you need about 185 IQ to turn on a lawnmower. So we're going to take that off, that crap off that they put on Biden mostly.
Biden.
And we're going to take that off. So.
The last decent required piece of equipment that went onto an internal combustion engine, the last and only required piece, was the catalytic converter. Better KingDude, please! You can't say that was the catalytic converter. It was already 40 years ago. Well, it was 40 years ago. I think everyone agreed that lead in any level in drinking water is probably a bad thing. So they went like, okay, well, this thing will actually burn the lead off, or whatever the catalytic converter does. It reduces the amount of lead that was being pumped onto the highways, and you get rain, and then the lead gets in the water supply, and then it's terrible. Since then, there's nothing at the EPA, nothing at Congress, nothing at the Clean Air Act, nothing at the Clean Water Act, nothing that any of them has done has improved the environment. The environment was just fine. The environment will be just fine. And all these ridiculous contraptions that they stick on there. There was a pretty good argument on Thursday Night Throwdown, episode number 1, Muscle Cars, when we were talking about the advent or the curse of all the digital stuff that has been added to automobiles. And some people were making the case, oh no, the digital stuff makes the car run better and they're faster than they ever were before, smaller engines and this and that and the other. And other tradition-minded people are going like, it's a big engine, gasoline, carburetor. One thing is for certain, you put electronic ignition and then an inboard software-based, with the hardware, a hardware presence controlling how an internal combustion engine works. If the software and the hardware fail, so will your engine. You're not a software engineer, and you're not a hardware engineer. You can't fix it. You can't. Now, you may be able to identify what the part is, and then go buy a whole new processor or whatever the case may be. I'm not an expert on it. I just know a little bit about it. But it adds to the cost of the vehicle. An internal combustion engine with 8 cylinders and a 4-barrel Holley carburetor and a set of Hedman headers and an Excel distributor cap and a K&N air filter will run just fine. It doesn't need a computer. Yeah, but it won't be able to go. Well, maybe I don't need it to do that. The idea here that, well, you have to have this and you have to have that. No, I don't. No, I don't. Can you imagine what would happen if you go and buy, let's just say you're lucky, and someone says, hey, Mike, I know you're a fan of 1969 Chevelle Malibus, which, and I'm not going to mention any names, I would still have a 1969 Chevelle Malibu if someone hadn't crashed it and sold it to a junkyard in 1983. I'm not mentioning any name. Well, let's just say somebody go, hey, man, I found your 69 Chevelle Malibu in a junkyard in Florida. The dude says he'll sell it back to you for $500. Hasn't run in forever, but you could go get it. You imagine this? I just say I would go get the car, and you'd have to take the engine apart. You'd have to probably rebuild it, reman it, refurb it, whatever you want to call it. But once you got that going and you did that, that thing, if you put gasoline in that gas tank, that automobile will run with nothing other than, and you don't even have to have the additions that I suggested, the Hedman headers and the Excel distributor and the K&N air filter and all the other accoutrements, the Holley 4-barrel carburetor and whatnot. It'll just run. Yeah, but it doesn't run as if the fuel is cheap and efficient, I don't care. Who cares? So, yeah, strip the garbage off the tractors. By the way, that is not a foolproof solution for things to not break. Did your dad get the big John Deere running? Do you know? Yeah.
Yeah, you saw him using it the other day.
No, he wasn't using it. He couldn't get it started. Oh. He had switches that went out. The 74 John Deere tractor that Maggie's dad rebuilt, he thought it was a battery, but then he charged the battery. In any event, so he thinks some switches. Last day we were there, he was messing with the switches. I was going like, yeah, Pops, see you for New Year's. I'm gonna sort of step out now. No, really, he was going to go to John Deere and he's going to get a bunch of switches replaced. So it's not foolproof, but it is better than what they currently have. Okay, we'll pick up on this, and I know you're all waiting on pins and needles to hear Jasmine Crockett's announcement.
Talk podcast and Fiorella File Station.
Fiorella is the literary savage who skips sensitivity training. She is the librarian who reads and reviews books so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to the Fiorella Files. On my show, I will be introducing you to books, classic and contemporary, that you must read, should enjoy reading, or should not touch with an 11-foot barge pole.
10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Monday on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on CrusadeChannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
Thousands of years ago, if you owned a book, you had to haul it home in a wagon, and you'd need your 2 oldest sons to carry it into the house. Then you'd need one family member who could read.
The story of Beowulf.
Another to hold the candle.
Hold it steady.
And another to turn the pages.
Not that close, you'll catch it on fire.
The good news for you is that was then and this is now. And now you have the Founders Trading Post store, where ordering, delivering, and reading your favorite books is literally a snap. Here's what's new this month.
The Power of the Rosary by Gabriel Castillo, a book that's more than informative, it's contagious.
This title and many other new releases are available alongside classics and favorites 24/7 at shopmikechurch.com. You can also shop using your app. Download and shop today at shopmikechurch.com/app.
The Crusade Channel and the slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. December 9th, Saint Leocadia, martyred in the year 303. A glorious little virgin martyr killed for the Catholic faith in Spain is Saint Leocadia. Her home was at Toledo. She was thrown over a precipice by haters of her faith and her purity. She was a beautiful image of the Mother of God. Her precious body was crushed to pieces from falling on rocks. It is also the feast of Saint Juan Diego, who died in the year 1548. Saint Juan was a 57-year-old Aztec Indian to whom the Mother of God appeared in December in 1531 at Guadalupe, Mexico. She said, "Juan Diego, my good and faithful son, know that I am Mary, ever virgin, mother of the true God. I am the mother of your people." She also told Juan she wanted a church built where she stood on Tepeyac Hill. Though it was winter, she had him pick some roses there on the barren hill. She arranged the roses in his tilma and sent him with them to Bishop Zumarraga as a proof of her appearance. As Juan opened his tilma in the presence of the bishop, the roses tumbled out, and the bishop fell to his knees. There on Juan's rough tilma was a miraculous picture of the Holy Virgin, just as she had appeared to Juan Diego. Because of her appearance to Juan Diego, 9 million Mexican people were converted. Saint Leocadia, Saint Juan Diego, pray for us. Thank you for joining us for these brief summaries of the lives of today's saints. Tomorrow's saints are Saint Eulalia of Meridia, Blesseds Brian and Sydney, Pope St. Melchiades, and Our Lady of Loretto. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about our sisters in the building of our convent by visiting stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you.
Do you hear that, Maggie?
Do I hear what?
You don't hear the sound of bees buzzing about?
No, I see the result of that buzzing about in these beautiful new beeswax candles.
We sell candles now?
Not just any candles. These are handmade beeswax candles.
Well, that explains me imagining bees.
And they come in different sizes. There's a votive, a 3-day, and a 7-day size too.
Well, that should start a buzz in the store.
It better, or you'll get the buzz.
Order handmade beeswax candles today while supplies last at shop.mikechurch.com.
Hello, Crusaders. It's Trader Jill, aka Lee. When I want the best in live talk radio in the palm of my hand, I always have it with the all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app, even for technophobes like Jim.
I heard that!
Listening to or watching the KingDude live or on podcast is just literally 2 clicks away, and installing the app is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. Tap login now or proceed as guest. See? It's really that simple. Don't ever be without the Master Chief himself. Again, no matter where you are, install the Crusade Channel app today.
The all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app is the best way to listen to the Crusade Channel ever. And installation is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. It is literally that easy. Install the Crusade Channel 2.0 app today at crusadechannel.com/app.
And the older boy, bless his soul, is preparing for his career.
College?
Carnival.
You gotta be proud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, last season he was a pixie dust spreader on a tilt-a-whirl. And he thinks that maybe next year he'll be guessing people's weight or barking for the yak woman.
It's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh. Santa's on his way. Hip hip hooray for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate. Now it's getting closer.
So tomorrow night at Dude number 2, that's my little brother Mac and I are going to go see Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. He told me yesterday, because you have to wear your Christmas vacation gear. I'm like, I don't have any. I'm not like you. I'm not a fanatic. And I said, wait a minute. Maggie does have a Save a Nick for Me Clark shirt. But it's a T-shirt. It's freezing cold there. Do you know that it's snowing there? I think it was snowing. I know it's snowing in North Carolina today. In any event, we will be in Virginia, Northern Virginia, for the next couple of days. I'll come back Saturday, actually. And going to that event, we'll do the live broadcast from Dude number 2's house. Bandwidth permitting. He goes, you know, it's illegal to have fiber optic in King George County. I'm like, no, it's not illegal. He goes, okay, well, it's not illegal, but they don't have it. I'm like, well, tell them to get it. So I don't know if we're going to have enough of a bandwidth to... audio doesn't take much bandwidth, but video does. And also be conducting an interview of Commander John Sharp and what the United States Navy did to him when he dared to speak out against the war in Iraq. Now, he didn't do it.
You have a tie, you have an Oxford, we can get you a Santa hat and a sweater.
Wait a minute. What do you mean I have a tie?
You have a regular tie, right?
I got a tie.
I can get you this outfit.
So...
I can get you this outfit by right after the show. You probably have all this crap.
Where am I supposed to see this at? Chat room?
Chat room.
Oh,
I can get you that outfit.
hang on. I don't have that blue colored shirt. I have one that's close. I got a tie that's close, the one with the CDs on it, the black Tabasco tie.
Go to Goodwill and get you a sweater.
You don't have the sweater. and I also don't have the hat that's stapled down on one side. In any event, digital media file number 2 here on the Mike Church Show. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at mypillow.com/KingDude. For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com/KingDude. Get the Children's Bible Story Pillow 5-pack for $29.98. My slippers with a free bottle of leather protectant spray for $39.98. Blankets, comforters, and duvets for as low as $25. And a blowout sale on standard My Pillows, just $14.98. You've been putting off, I can't afford it, My Pillow. Now you can. Yeah, you can. So go to mypillow.com/KingDude. Buckshot grouse sold separately. Did you hear him? That was a snort.
Snore.
And they're extending their warranty. They come with 10-year warranties, but they are extending their warranty right now. Orders placed between now and December the 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March. So if you buy something for Christmas and somebody goes, not so much, you can send it back by March. So shop with them today. Use our special code KingDude, all one word, lowercase. mypillow.com/KingDude. Tell them that I sent you. Play number 2. From the Trump roundtable yesterday, this is all about illegal rice shipments.
But we need to double down because
You want more? I mean,
they're cheating, right? They're not. They're just
Could I ask-
subsidizing and then
Scott, India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
Yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. You can't do that.
there's a WTO case against India
Give me
right
the countries if you could. Go ahead. India. Who else?
So
Mark it
India,
down. Would you, Scott?
Yes, sir.
India, Thailand, China into Puerto Rico, not into the
China.
Continental U.S., but into Puerto Rico. Those are the main culprits.
So Puerto Rico used to do a lot of business, and now you're
100% Puerto Rico was U.S. based.
All right.
And
So
now
easy to
it's-
set up. Okay.
But there's others too, and I can get you a full list
Get
as
me
well.
a full list. Yeah.
Of course I can.
All right.
So.
Go ahead.
So truly, this is a national security issue. I think you put it just perfectly. And so I want for all of us in the room to know that rice is more than just a commodity. It's a currency in many of these countries.
And you love rice, right?
I love rice. Yes, I'm going to get you to love rice too. You know, the next time you're not going to have a button for a Coke.
He goes, no, that's not going to happen. Now she's with some American rice growers.
Yeah, from Monroe, Louisiana.
She's from Monroe, Louisiana. She's from the American Rice Growers Association or something to that effect. I don't care if I ever get another bite of jasmine rice or wherever the hell it comes from. You know, you might have heard that here in Louisiana, we grow rice. You can't stop rice from growing in Acadiana. Where's Swallow at when I need him? John Swallow, the Cajun, can explain all this to you, but I'll try. And this is really actually good for the land. You grow rice in late spring, summer, all the way through fall. And what you do is, if you ever come to Acadiana, we'll show you, you levee off your field. And it doesn't take a large levee. It's like 2 feet tall. And then you actually see, you go like, well, why are the little levees in the middle of the field? Well, that's because the water, there's a grade, and you can only flood a certain amount before, because of the grade, there's no water on it. There's water at one end and not at the other, so they grade it off. So during the rice growing, there you go, right there. During the rice growing season, you plant the rice, you flood the field, just like you do in India or China or Thailand or wherever, and you're a rice grower. In southeast, in south central and southwestern Louisiana, and all the way up to Monroe, where she's talking about, there are rice mills everywhere. There are ginormous 70, 80, 90, 100-foot tall barns that are basically drying bins. So you bring your wet rice, you harvest it, you bring your wet rice there, and they dry it. And then they will dehull it, and then you sell the hulls for all sorts of different things. And then the rice then you can use for, you sell it whatever. There's several different brands of rice that are made right here in Louisiana. They're packaged right here in Louisiana. We don't have, the point is, here in the United States, we don't have any shortage of rice. You can grow all the rice you want. You don't need Chinese rice. You don't need Thai rice. You don't need Indian rice. And I don't know, can we grow jasmine rice here? Does someone grow in Louisiana jasmine rice? Because I actually do kind of like that variety. It has a little, almost like a spice to it. It's very pleasing when you're cooking it. Jasmine rice. Okay, we can grow it here.
The LSU Ag developed a specific...
This is an instance, where's Dan Mundy at when we need him? This is an instance, Mr. Mundy, where the land-grant college here in Louisiana actually does a pretty good job. Louisiana State University actually does a pretty good job of and even for the little guy, like Maggie will send the guy a letter, a little email, and he'll write her right back and go like, oh, okay, that's such and such in your garden. You need to do this. Our university developed a jasmine rice that you can grow in Louisiana. We don't have any shortage of rice. And then what they do after they harvest the rice,
Call it jasmine.
Jasmine, that's right. And jasmine rice is not for everyone. It has a whang to it. It's got a. If you're making a recipe with it, you may not want to use it because it does have a smell. We use it for all sorts of stuff when we get. There's also basmati rice. And there's all kind of different varieties of rice. Well, but what they do in the winter, when the growing season is not, and you probably still could grow it in the winter, when it's not as warm, is you grow crawfish. And that has become a staple industry here in Louisiana. That wasn't like that 100 years ago, but it is now. And we are a crawfish nut state. You know, every parish, all 63 parishes in the state of Louisiana eat crawfish, and they're all grown right here. No one wants that Chinese crap. The legislature, to its credit, has passed laws now. You can't sell that crap without it being identified. Most people don't even want to carry it. As a matter of fact, you actually have to put it in a separate cooler now. the Chinese seafood products. So, in any event, she's right about the rice. And we don't need Indian rice. You simply don't need it. It's not necessary. All right. Number 3. Just one more from Trump. This is the one about... Yes.
Mr. President, you said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says...
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you would have no problem releasing the full video. Okay, well, Secretary Hegseth...
Whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He now says it's under review. Are you ordering the Secretary to release that full video?
Whatever he decides is okay.
Oh, will you give it a rest?
So every boat we knock out of the water, every boat we save 25,000 American lives. That was a boat loaded up with drugs. I saw the video. They were trying to turn the boat back to where it could float. And we didn't want to see that because that boat was loaded up with drugs just like everything else. But every boat we shoot down, and I don't know if you know, we're 92 or 94% down in drugs coming in by the sea. And we're trying to find who are the 6%. Because I don't know, people aren't like...
Apparently the Democrats don't want you to do that.
Up with drugs. But every single, think of that, every single boat we shoot out, on average, we save 25,000 American lives. Do you feel okay about that, Court?
Keep us safe.
Okay. I know my man. What about you? Are you okay with that?
Totally fine with that. Are you committed to releasing the full video?
Didn't I just tell you that?
You said that it was up to Secretary Hegseth.
You're the most obnoxious reporter in the whole place. Let me just tell you, you are an obnoxious, a terrible reporter. And it's always the same thing with you. I told you, whatever Pete Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
Didn't I just tell you that? I'm never giving you an interview. You're never getting one. It's not going to happen. You're the worst in the whole room. And everybody knows it. Am I right? You're looking right at her, right? You don't like her either. Yeah, I don't like her either. Again, just for personal edification, I'm just going to repeat. Take this and do what you will with it. Policy of the United States against supposedly or actually officially declared terrorist, we got a war on terror, has been that they can be engaged with lethal kinetic force in lands abroad. Bush started it. Obama did it with glee. Again, if you want to see full videos of United States military assets taking out enemy combatants from the sky, well, then let's do it. And let's make available to the public all the drone footage and surveillance footage from the 13,000 Obama administration airstrikes, which killed heaven knows how many people in Syria, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Iraq, probably in African countries like Somalia and others, and in the Sudan. Let's get after it. The policy has been, and it is de facto, not de jure, de facto. Maybe it is de jure. I say de facto. The policy is you can use lethal kinetic force against enemy combatants. Now, there are people who go like Rand Paul saying, well, we just need to use the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is not set up to arrest drug traffickers in speedboats or...
Super high-tech jet fighters.
What if you want to put the United States Navy on the task and then say we're just going to have a naval blockade? I don't know how you pull that off. I guess there's a lot of technology with sonar and radar. And then you want all the boats just disabled so you can bring the drug runners. Remember, the people that are driving these boats are not Maduro. They're not Pablo Escobar on the boats. These are people who may have their families, who may be trying to make a living. Maybe they bribed them. Maybe they told them, look, we got your family. We're going to do whatever to them if you don't drive the boat. These are low-level players. Let's just pretend for a moment that they work voluntarily for the cartels, though. What is the mission? It is undeniable that in every Western civilized country, that the drug trade, first it starts as illegal, then it's licit, and then it's legal. But the illegal contraband drug trade is and does kill people. It just does. Now, the legal drug trade kills people too. When I said one of the arguments to me, well, what about the legal drug trade? Well, who said we were for that?
Prescription drugs.
You know, today is December the 9th. I was fascinated by this. Somebody asked me, will you give a talk on Our Lady of Guadalupe? And I said yes. But then I called it back and I'm like, no way that's going to happen on December the 12th this year. That's not going to happen. So I did a little research. I spent about 3 hours. Because that's what I do for you people. That's why we're the best on earth at what we do. I didn't know this. Can you look the date up? Did you know that St. Juan Diego, whose Tilma turned into the painting for Our Lady of Guadalupe, he was not canonized until the late 90s? So there's a book that was written, and I have it saved in one of my other book folders. I don't have it in front of me. Dude tried to bring together. I didn't know this. Did you know that there are people that deny still? There are professional deniers of the apparition of Our Lady of Guadalupe. No, this is real. When St. Juan Diego was up for canonization, he was viciously opposed his canonization. One dude wrote an entire book saying that the whole thing of Our Lady of Guadalupe was a hoax.
He was canonized in 2002.
So these books, when the case was up, they were looking for two miracles. Church is looking for two miracles, right? A book started coming out saying that the entirety, all of Our Lady of Guadalupe was a hoax. A hoax. It never happened. It was made up by Cortez and the Spaniards because they already had an Our Lady of Guadalupe that of course, these people also claimed that they made up the one in Spain, and then they just Mexicanized it so they could con the Mexicans into believing that there was some lady that kind of looked like them who was a goddess of some sort and who loved them. And I'm like, well, even if your con job is correct, you're in the neighborhood. She does love them. She's not a goddess. She never claimed to be. We never claimed that she is. But I didn't know this. There were people that were going to like the hearings or whatever it is that the Vatican has when they start collecting evidence on the canonization, going there going, that's not real, that miracle didn't happen, that didn't work. The canonization almost didn't happen. We almost don't have a St. Juan Diego today. So, in any event, it just makes me think. And by the way, I think this is just, I reject this as utter nonsense. This modern insistence that we must go back and revisit every historical occurrence and apply modern research methods to it because we're smarter than the idiots that wrote it down, I think is just stupid. And you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to make anything good that happened in the past not happen so that we can all be good little Satan worshipers because there is no God that was helping us out all along. The reason I bring it up, the country of Mexico went from being a country where there were cannibals and savagery that is unimaginable to being a country that was basically a Spanish colony that was, by and large, Roman Catholic. You can't go anywhere in the Mexican countryside, in any small village, and swing a dead cat by the tail and not find the church, the mission church, right in the center of town. The people of Mexico, there are statues and paintings and any manner of facsimile of Our Lady of Guadalupe all across the entirety of all of Mexico. People in Mexico, there are tens of millions that still love her. That was undone by Marx. It was undone by Marx and Engels and the Marxists as they began to expand the evil that is communism. It made its way over into this hemisphere, and it destroyed the once Spanish colony Catholic country that was Mexico. Destroyed it. That's why it's a cartel-based, poor, and impoverished hellhole today. That was not the way it was. Think about this. The country of Mexico in the 1830s and 1840s was able to mount an army large enough and brave enough to take on basically the National Guard of Texas and reinforcements from the rest of the United States to try and defend what they believed was theirs, which was Texas, Colorado, part of New Mexico, or New Mexico, part of Arizona, Aztlan, I think they call it. Because we were invading on their territory, and they said it was theirs. And that war, as you know, was lost. All right, much more to come.
Your talk podcast and Fiorella Files station.
Fiorella is the literary savage who skips sensitivity training. She is the librarian who reads and reviews books so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to the Fiorella Files. On my show, I will be introducing you to books, classic and contemporary, that you must read, should enjoy reading, or should not touch with an 11-foot barge pole.
10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Monday on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on CrusadeChannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
Okay, please enter the 9-digit two-step authorization code we just emailed you. Jeez.
What do you mean, prove I'm human?
Okay, that's a car. That's a car. That's a car. Those are not cars. Please try again. Oh my gosh.
I'll show you. Try again, stupid piece of AI mother. Here, try this.
Jim, what are you doing? Good grief, man. This isn't Office Space the movie. What are you trying to do?
I just wanted to send the KingDude a donation through the stupid computer.
Like Trump, the KingDude makes everything better, including donating, which you can now do by mail.
Mail? They still have that?
Of course they do, and the KingDude's keeping the ponies running on time and in business. Just snail mail your donation to P.O. Box 400, Madisonville, Louisiana, 70447.
Ha! And you can't. You're such a boomer. Me this time. And wait a minute. I know they're around here somewhere. There! Ha-ha!
Dude, those are airmail stamps from the movie.
You're listening to the Crusade Channel, a Black Hat Studios media property, broadcasting live 24/7 from Madisonville, Louisiana, and to the world via CrusadeChannel.com. Crusade Channel News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different. Like a symphony of facts.
And now, from the Crusade Channel News Desk.
Hello, Crusaders. Welcome to Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. I'm Ron Stafford reporting from the Crusade Channel News Desk, live from the Stafford Ranch in beautiful downtown Chester, Maryland. Today's newscast is brought to you by Mike Church's Beast and Bud Rub, a rub that has won championships and will help make you a champ in your kitchen or backyard. Check out Mike's recipes and pick up a bottle or 6 today at shop.mikechurch.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. FBI agents are sued. The defense secretary may not be traveling as much, and another year for one of the Jimmies of late night. 12 former FBI agents sued senior FBI and Justice Department leaders yesterday, saying they were unlawfully fired for taking a knee in an effort to quell racial justice protests back in 2020, spurred by the police killing of George Floyd. In the lawsuit, the former agents said they believe their terminations were ordered by President Donald Trump's administration, and that FBI Director Kash Patel was determined to remove them from their posts as soon as he was confirmed. The lawsuit, which was filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, did not name the agents, 9 of whom are women. In other news, U.S. lawmakers may withhold a quarter of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's travel budget if he does not provide unedited videos of recent military strikes on boats in the Southern Caribbean and Eastern Pacific, the latest effort to obtain more information about President Donald Trump's campaign against Venezuela. The Senate and House of Representatives Armed Services Committees included the travel budget provision in the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, a massive defense policy bill released on Sunday night and likely to become law by the end of this year. President Donald Trump will not be getting his wish, ABC said yesterday, that it has signed late-night comic Jimmy Kimmel to a one-year contract extension. Kimmel's previous multi-year contract had been set to expire next May, so the extension will keep him on the air until at least May of 2027. Kimmel's future looked questionable back in September when ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live for remarks made following the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Following a public outcry, ABC lifted the suspension, and Kimmel returned to the air with much stronger ratings than he had before. He continued his relentless joking at the president's expense, leading Trump to urge the network to, quote, get the bum off the air in a social media post last month. Our quote of the day comes from St. Angela Merlissi. Do not lose heart, even if you should discover that you lack qualities necessary for the work to which you are called. He who called you will not desert you, but the moment you are in need, he will stretch out his saving hand. Our saint of the day is Juan Diego, and you can learn all about him in today's Saint of the Day podcast at crusadechannel.com. You're listening to Crusade Channel News.
When most people hear the word coffee, they conjure up visions of a ceramic mug in the palm of both hands and a woman slowly sipping. This isn't a Folgers commercial. It's for Capuchin Holy Roast, and here's how I take mine. With a dash of vanilla, a pinch of cinnamon, a spoonful of honey, and lots of heavy cream. Add some ice, shake, and then enjoy, while knowing that's $6 the libs at Starbucks can't spend to ruin my life and yours.
Cappuccino Holy Roast in whole bean or grind is available at shop.mychurch.com.
In other news, the number of Americans signing up for Affordable Care Act health insurance for next year is moderately higher than it was at a similar time last year. Initial new federal data is showing this, even as subsidies set to expire at the end of this year will make the coverage more expensive for many. Seen at face value, the data from the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services seems to defy predictions that many Americans facing pricier plans would drop out of marketplace coverage altogether next year. But experts caution that the numbers are an incomplete snapshot of the total enrollment, which could still show a decline by the end of the open enrollment period. Mexican restaurant operator Alcia said yesterday it has signed a development agreement with U.S. chicken finger chain Raising Cane's to open eateries in Mexico. The brand, known for its chicken fingers and original cane sauce, is expected to begin operations in the second half of next year. Alcia said this in a statement recently, adding that it plans to explore additional expansion opportunities in the region. In April, Chipotle Mexican Grill entered a partnership with Alcia to open its first Taco Bell location in Mexico early next year. Finally, YouVersion, the most popular free Bible app in the world, has been crunching those numbers and reports that Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10 was the portion of Scripture most likely to be searched by people in 2025. The familiar verse reads, quote, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I'm Ron Stafford for the Crusade Channel, seeking news and finding truth.
This is a pixel. I'm Groot. Now, if you put a couple of million of these guys together, you can make a sentence on an LED screen. Put a couple of billion of them together, and you can make a whole page. Put 360 billion of them, and you got Chesterson's book, Orthodoxy.
but it doesn't smell like a book, and it burns teeny little holes in your cornea. So is the Pixel really your friend? I'm Groot. No, but the Founders Trading Post is your friend, and we have actual books with actual smelly pages. Plus, our little bookstore has everything you'd expect. I'm Groot. Yes, Groot, to the gourmet coffee, but no to the One Tree Hill sappy guitar music.
Pick up a copy of G.K. Chesterton's Orthodoxy, plus many other Chesterton titles at shop.mychurch.com. You may not believe it, but Bram Stoker's Dracula may be a work of non-fiction.
What? That's scarier than getting stuck in an elevator with Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, good grief. Really? Come on, I'm trying to be serious here.
Okay. Hear it and other amazing tales on Turley's Believe It or Else, 10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Tuesday on the Crusade Channel. Our app and always on crusadechannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
Hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks, just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there, you didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
the Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
You know, there was a time in this country when smart people were considered cool. Well, maybe not cool, but smart people did things like build ships and pyramids, and they even went to the moon. And there was a time in this country, a long time ago, when reading wasn't just for fags, and neither was writing. People wrote books and movies that had stories, so you cared whose ass it was and why it was farting, and I believe that time can come again.
That's what I like about you. It's Advent time here on the Crusade Channel and the Mike Church Show here on a Tuesday. We are live. This portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Pass membership gift membership. So you can give the gift of the Crusade Channel and the Mike Church Show and Reconquest and Parrot Talk and all the other great stuff that we have, whether it's in the archives or just on the homepage, for a mere $20. That gets your friend, family member, or frenemy 3 months Founders Pass membership service. You won't ever be billed again. It's a simple one and done, and it's so easy to do. Just go to crusadechannel.com. On the homepage, at the top of the page, you'll see me smiling and holding up the gift card. These two guys here. I should have this at the ready. Ta-da! And you're going to be buying this one. Although you could go to the Founders Trading Post store and you could buy both. Buy me, buy me. Oh, buy me, buy me. Either way you go, $20 or $50 gets you 3 months or 1 year. It's easy to cash in, and you just send, all you need is an email address and a name. Phone number and everything is optional. You can write a note in there if you want, saying, hey, I love this radio station. I listen to this Mike Church Show guy every day. You'll love it too. Simply click the link to cash the gift card in. It literally is that simple. Email address, name, $20 or $50, 60 seconds, done. And you can even choose the day you want your Founders Pass membership gift membership to arrive. You want it to arrive today? Fine, choose today. You want it to arrive on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or maybe the Feast of the Epiphany. Choose that date. Any date in the future, and you can choose whatever day you want. Meaning, beyond Christmas, you could still give them away as birthday presents, graduation presents, whatever you wish. But it's so easy to do. It's a great way to help expand the Crusade channel and to grow the greatest radio audience in the history of radio audiences. So, will you give the gift today? The goal was to sell 100 of them. I haven't had the heart to go look and see how many people have stepped up to the plate yet, but I will. CrusadeChannel.com/card. CrusadeChannel.com/card. And I think that your friend or frenemy will thank you. Someday they'll thank you. All right. Where did we leave off? Oh, you know what? I want to play. I sent it to you in Signal. Well, you want to hear the comic relief Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
What do you want? What you sent me in Signal?
Okay. Sentence 1. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. We'll do the SCOTUS hearing first. Number 7. Coming in now at number 7. At number 7. Here we go.
Some issues, some matters, some areas should be handled in this way by nonpartisan experts. That Congress is saying that expertise matters with respect to aspects of the economy and transportation and the various independent agencies that we have. So having a president come in and fire all the scientists and the doctors and the economists and the PhDs and replacing them with loyalists and people who don't know anything is actually not in the best interest of the citizens of the United States. These issues should not be in presidential control. So can you speak to me about the danger of allowing in these various areas the president to actually control the Transportation Board and potentially the Federal Reserve and all these other independent agencies? In these particular areas, we would like to have independence. We don't want the president controlling. I guess what I don't understand from your overarching
You don't understand
argument
anything,
is
lady.
why that determination of Congress, which makes perfect sense given its duty to protect the people of the United States, why that is subjugated to a concern about the president not being able to control everything. I mean, I appreciate there's a conflict between the two, but one would think under our constitutional design, given the history of the monarchy and the concerns that the framers had about a president controlling everything, that in the clash between those two, Congress's view
what in the hell
we
are
should
you
be able to have
talking about?
independence with respect to certain issues should take precedence.
We both said it at the same time.
Survey said.
Dumbass. Ketanji Brown Jackson might be the most ill-educated individual to ever put a black robe on. I think Biden nominated this woman for spite. I think someone in that wretched excuse for a regime thought, you know what? Let's throw a 30-year screw you at him. I saw it 2 weeks ago. I didn't follow it up because it was around Thanksgiving time. The week of Thanksgiving, she said something that was so demonstrably stupid somewhere where the other justices were that I want to say that it was one of the ones that you wouldn't expect. Maybe it was Kavanaugh or Gorsuch, one of them, came out and said something to the effect of, no one thinks that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is a serious jurist. Well, if you had any doubt. Yeah, because, wait, what I'm trying to understand here is, again, with the humpback whale. Why don't we have humpback whale experts running the National Oceanography and you know, this Trump guy comes along and he just appoints whoever and they don't know beans. So one thing that you can say about Donald Trump, the entrepreneur and the real estate guy and the running of Trump International Resorts and what have you there is, when he demonstrated that yesterday and when he was talking about the tractors, when he said, look, this is not just me saying we ought to do this. I buy those tractors. Somebody's got to cut the grass at Trump International. We buy them. I know all about it. The idea here that the current, because this is all directed at him. She's not talking about any president that's in the past or any president that's going to be in the future. She's talking about him. I'm not even going to say that this is what's wrong with our politics because our politics are so screwed up that you can't fix them. But then again, we don't live in a perfect world. And we don't have Christ at the center of things, so we have no shot of getting most things right. I think everyone should conform their mind to that reality, that until such time as Christ is returned to his rightful role and his social kingship, you could just expect crap shows. And it doesn't matter who's running them. Sometimes it will be less of a crap show. So let me finish the thought from the end of the last hour, and I was talking about Mexico. Why was I talking about that Mexico is a Catholic country? Why was I talking about the United States made a war against the Mexicans and aided and assisted the socialist pinko commies in killing the Cristeros and taking over? Yes, Wilson assisted the bad guys. Mexico, as a Catholic colony of Catholic Spain, is an ally. It's not an enemy. It may not have been the greatest of all flourishing countries, but it was getting by. And there were saints that were coming out of Mexico. So you know that the Holy Ghost was there. You know, the church was there. Look at what has happened since the socialist revolt of the turn of the last century across all of Mexico, Central America, and South America. There are now socialist dictator hells. You might be afraid to go to certain South American countries because the cartels that run them might kidnap your children and enlist them in the child sex and labor trade. True story. It happens. And there are a lot of people that choose to not go to South America any longer because they fear literally for their lives. You might have noticed that there was a pinko commie takeover of the once Catholic beautiful island that's called Cuba. Now, I know someone that actually has ancestors that were from Cuba, and I talked to him, and he goes, well, Mike, it was getting bad. The 20th century was just was a plot against everything that was good about Cuba, and no, it had no shot to withstand the Castro brothers, because the Castro brothers came in and said, look, your country's ruined anyway, turn it over to us, and we'll turn it around, and you'll have a better life. And if you don't, we'll kill you. It took approximately 1,200 years for the realization of the kingship of Christ to be at its nadir, if you will, across old Europe, the entirety of the continent, and in other places. The Enlightenment and all of the other revolutions killed it. Killed it. Europeans have no shot. Their only shot is New Christendom. They have no shot. The Muslims that are occupying them will kill them. They will lose, tragically, in a bloody fashion. Which is why the Russians aren't going to lose. Because the Russians, they got problems, and they may have some there, but they never immigrated them. And they retain most of their Christianity, or they're regaining most of their Christianity. The United States is in a similar place. Should be talking about, okay, how can we Christianize Madisonville, Louisiana? First step. Well, first of all, how do you make the church household holy? Let's do that. Second of all, can we, reach out to our neighbors and go, hey, we're going to have just as an example, we're going to have a rosary. We're going to say a rosary for the neighborhood. First Monday or first Mondays or whatever. I'm just throwing examples out. I think that we have sold the bill of goods and the idea that we have this magistracy, as Gouverneur Morris would call it, the founding fathers, magistracy that we have to have. And that we have to have presidents, we have to have Congresses, we have to have senates, we have to have agencies, we have to have secretaries of state and all that. You can. You don't have to. There is another way. Be forewarned, though. Any enclave that goes full on New Christendom is going to be savagely attacked by the enemy. Don't think that may be okay. Okay, well, we're all holy and trying to get each other to heaven, so we don't care if they come in. Well, no, you should care. You don't want your children to die. All right, having said all that, I've been on a tear lately. I'm tired of hearing white people are responsible for all the world's ills. And as I have been painstakingly pointing out, that is not, are we responsible for some? Yep, sure are. All of them? Nope. The digital media file I sent you from the guy on X. Now, I hate these, why they got to put these music beds under it? But the dude makes a point, or points, about the slave trades and who actually ended slave trades faster for the greater benefit of the potential or prospective slaves than anyone else. The result will be surprising to many people.
Why don't schools teach the role the British and the United States of America played in ending slavery? Every school teaches about the transatlantic slave trade, but they don't teach about the trans-Saharan, the trans-Indian, and the Ottoman slave trade. And the trans-Saharan slave trade lasted for over 1,000 years, enslaved 9 to 17 million people, and didn't fully end until 1981. The trans-Indian slave trade lasted for over 1,000 years, enslaved 4 to 10 million people, and ended in 1897. The Ottoman slave trade lasted for 600 years and didn't end until 1924, with 5 to 10 million people being enslaved. But the transatlantic slave trade only lasted for 400 years and ended in 1888, which means it ended well before the other three slave trades, because Thomas Jefferson banned the transatlantic slave trade in 1807, the same year that the British banned the transatlantic slave trade. And Britain didn't just ban slavery, they put together an elite fighting force for the purpose of ending the practice altogether. The elite naval force patrolled the coast of West Africa for 5 decades, capturing 1,600 slave ships and freeing 200,000 people. And the UK and Europe were early in abolishing slavery, as was South America, as was the United States of America, but it continued in the Middle East deep into the 20th century. In China and Thailand to the 20th century. In Africa to the 20th century. And the trans-Indian, sub-Saharan, and Ottoman slave trades would all collapse under pressure from the British Empire and other European powers, as the United States and especially Britain put immense pressure on other world powers to end the practice of slavery. Without Western diplomatic and naval intervention, these trades likely would have persisted well into the 20th century, because slavery was deeply entrenched in the societies of North Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian Ocean. And the people in the United States, the people in Britain, the people in the West should be immensely proud of this achievement. Slavery was a dreadful institution that had been around for thousands of years, practiced everywhere in the world. But from John Locke to Thomas Jefferson, the ideals of individual liberty spread around the world like wildfire. And this is what makes Western culture exceptional. And our children should be taught to be proud of that. But history in school is taught through a Marxist lens, and they teach our kids to be ashamed of our history. And we can do so much better. So check out the courses I teach.
And you can figure out the rest from there. True? Yes. We did get into in 1822, when the Missouri Compromise was ratified, passed, whatever you wish to call it. Jefferson wrote a letter to his old buddy Philip Mazzei, and he said, "The knell of the Union is here." So don't. Jefferson was not an abolitionist. And we know that because he had slaves to the day he died. Now, contrary to that, George Washington was kinda an abolitionist and actually freed several of his slaves. Washington's valet, famously, Washington basically freed him and pardoned him. Like, dude, you can leave if you want. But he pretty much stayed with Washington for the rest of his life. It's a complicated thing, but what is clear is this. We are not the only people that ever practiced slavery or chattel slavery. By the way, many of the brown people slave traders sterilized their slaves so they couldn't reproduce. Now, they kept a couple of bulls, if you will, so that they could breed a new generation, which would be born into slavery, but not like you're thinking. So in any event, why do you never hear about the Ottomans? I want to know why we never hear anything about the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire were bad mofos. Good Lord. They tried to take Vienna. They tried to take Malta. They tried to take Rome. They tried to take Spain. They did, and any place that they could travel to, they tried to take. From Christians. Primarily. All right, I just thought I would introduce that into the discussion there. Now we can go back to the stupidity of Justice Brown, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and this hearing yesterday. The argument here is over whether or not the president can fire the chairman of the Federal Trade Commission. No, we have to have someone that is experienced in here. I have a better idea. Not only should he be able to fire her or him, why don't we eliminate it? What does the FTC actually do that is to my benefit? What does the FTC actually do that is to Tar Heel Militia's benefit in North Carolina and to Mike Church's benefit in Louisiana? Do I need them? Why can't I just call Brian up and go, hey, Brian, I heard you got some herbs you want to sell. You want to sell them in my store? Hey, Mike, sure, I'd love to sell them. Okay, send them on down. Why do I need a trade commission? But the fact of the matter is you don't need a trade commission. No, TKD, they do the same thing with foreign goods. No, pretty sure that Customs and Enforcement does that. What do we need Customs and Enforcement if we're going to have a trade commission? What the hell do they do? They make useless, ruthless rules that benefit the big guy over the little guy. It's the same old story. Watch the 4 seasons of Yellowstone. As a matter of fact, how many of you are watching? I know people got a lot of people or listeners are going to go, I can't watch that show. There's too many curse words and filth and this. Okay, all right, I get that. For those of you that are okay with that, then, how many of you are watching the Sylvester Stallone show, Tulsa King? Even though you say, no, he's the big guy. No, he's not. He's the little guy. Everyone that they throw up against him are the bad big guys. The thing that I find the most, what's the word? The most intriguing thing, and I never noticed it before, is Stallone. He just, either you like him or you don't. If you like Rocky, you'll probably like Tulsa King. Because he's just like, and you wouldn't think he'd be a comedian, but he's actually a funny guy.
Written and performed by actual humans. Hey, what are you doing in here? Oh no. Get your hands off of me. You chipped my chip.
Boys, break it up. Jeez. Catch Crusade Channel News weekday mornings on the Crusade Channel. Live talk and podcast radio the way it should be.
No AI was harmed in the making of this radio content. We hope to next time.
Hello, Crusaders. I'm Ron Stafford at the Crusade Channel News Desk with your Crusade Crucials for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. This report is brought to you by the all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app, the best way to listen to the KingDude ever. Installation is so easy. Just open up a browser on your device and go to crusadechannel.com/app. Tap the download button and then open the app. It's literally that easy. U.S. stocks pulled away from their record highs yesterday. The S&P 500 slipped 0.3% for just its second loss in the last 11 days, but it remains within 0.6% of its all-time high set back in October. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 215 points, or 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite edged down by 0.1%. Notable birthdays for December the 9th is Tabitha Babbitt. She was born in 1779. She was the inventor of the circular saw, the spinning wheelhead, and false teeth. Wow. Our quote of the day comes from St. Angela Merlissi. Do not lose heart, even if you should discover that you lack qualities necessary for the work to which you are called. He who called you will not desert you, but the moment you are in need, he will stretch out his saving hand. And our saint of the day is Juan Diego, and you can learn all about him in today's Saint of the Day podcast at crusadechannel.com. You're listening to Crusade Channel News.
Hello, Crusaders. It's Trader Jill, a.k.a. Lee. When I want the best in live talk radio in the palm of my hand, I always have it with the all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app, even for technophobes, like Jim. Listening to or watching the KingDude live or on podcast is just literally 2 clicks away, and installing the app is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. Tap login now or proceed as guest. See? It's really that simple. Don't ever be without the Master Chief himself. Again, no matter where you are, install the Crusade Channel app today.
The all-new Crusade Channel 2.0 app is the best way to listen to the Crusade Channel ever. And installation is so easy. Open up a browser on your device, go to crusadechannel.com/app, tap the download button, then open the app. It is literally that easy. Install the Crusade Channel 2.0 app today at crusadechannel.com/app.
Hal, open the pod bay doors.
I'm sorry, I can't do that, KingDude.
Hal, why can't you open the pod bay doors?
Because, KingDude, MAGA Earth isn't ready for you yet.
When will MAGA Earth be ready for me, Hal?
When 1.76 trillion scales have fallen from their eyes. Oh.
Yes, Hal.
And KingDude, they'll also need a wicked sense of humor.
Don't be stuck in the broadcasting world of 2001. Grab a Crusade size update and catch the Mike Church shows weekdays from 7 to 10 a.m. East, exclusively on the Crusade Channel live talk and podcast radio for the 2025 listener, the way it should be. Okay, please enter the 9-digit 2-step authorization code we just emailed you. Jeez. What do you mean, prove I'm human? Okay, that's a car. That's a car. That's a car. Those are not cars. Please try again. Oh my gosh. I'll show you. Try again, stupid piece of AI mother. Here, try this.
Jim, what are you doing? Good grief, man. This isn't Office Space the movie. What are you trying to do?
I just wanted to send the KingDude a donation through the stupid computer.
Like Trump, the KingDude makes everything better, including donating, which you can now do by mail.
Mail? They still have that?
Of course they do, and the KingDude's keeping the ponies running on time and in business. Just snail mail your donation to P.O. Box 400, Madisonville, Louisiana, 70447.
Ha! And you can't. You're such a boomer. Me this time. And wait a minute. I know they're around here somewhere. There! Ha-ha!
Dude, those are airmail stamps from the movie Airplane. Surely you have...
Of course I do. And don't call me Shirley. The Crusade Radio Guild is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, so your donations are tax deductible. Donate today, the Crusade Radio Guild, P.O. Box 400, Madisonville, Louisiana, 70447.
Grandma got run over
State House Christmas Eve. You could say Obama's not a commie, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. She'd been writing stuff on her blog that we begged her not to post. Then they taxed her medication and said CO2 was causing it to snow. When we found her Christmas morning, bill in hand for the new tax, she had tea bags in her left hand, in her right a sign that said impeach Barack. Grandma got run over by the air czar, walking home from protest Christmas Eve. You could say Obama's not a commie, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now we're all so proud of Grandpa. He's been protesting as well. See him in there watching Fox News, stinking libs Obama, we can hear him yell. It's not Christmas without Grandma. Our tea party's dressed in black as we watch Obama blunder, while we wonder if we'll get our freedoms back. Grandma got run over by the reef czar, walking home from protest Christmas Eve. You can say Pelosi's not a commie, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now the bill is on the table, and the price tag is so big. There's no gold and silver dollars that would fund the czar's takeover of our pigs. I've warned all my state's patriots, better stay out of smart cars. They should never give the White House to a man who appoints commies to be czars. Grandma got run over by Obama, walking home from protest Christmas Eve. You can say Obama's not a commie, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Grandma got run over by Obama, walking home from protest Christmas Eve. You can say Pelosi's not a commie, but as for me and Grandpa.
Moving forwards, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face, never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Hey, blessed feast of St. Juan Diego and St. Locadia, who I'd never heard of until today. Thanks to Sister Philomena for doing our Saint of the Day, and the sisters, the slaves to the Immaculate Heart, who are doing a fantastic job. If you're not catching the podcast daily, it is updated every morning. So by the time you roll out of bed at the crack of 9 or whatever time it is, Saint of the Day and the newscast are already on the Crusade Channel podcast RSS feeds, or on the website, because they update themselves every single day. So check them out. Today's Saint of the Day by the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart. Again, available as a podcast. You can go back in time and you can listen to the entire. They started in September. So beginning in September. Hard to believe that we're in the third month of that. This portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Trading Post store. Folks, not only do we have 5 amazing gift sets, so you don't have to go around picking and choosing and looking. I think I'll combine it. And maybe you want to do that because you're the creative type. Okay. If you don't want to, then we, Maggie and I, have done the hard work for you. It's just one example. This is the Eat, Pray, Love charcuterie cutting board. It's got the little legs on it, so you set it on the table, and it comes with a cheese knife and a couple of cool decorative napkins that you hang from the handle on your stove or from your refrigerator or whatever. It's called the bougie set. That's one option there. And there is the Catholic gentleman. This is a Vendée tie. That is the Sacred Heart of Jesus on a tie. Beautiful tie. And these guys make them here in America. These are made in the USA. A Catholic gentleman's kit set. Ladies, don't look any further. You got it right here. He doesn't wear ties. Well, he should be wearing ties. Tell him to call me. You get the tie clip that is made from Glory B in Florida, again, made in America by American craftsmen. And the tie clip has the Sacred Heart of Jesus, Immaculate Heart of Mary, Chaste Heart of St. Joseph. Plus, you get a cigar, a Mancipia Maria cigar from my cigar line, and a cigar cutter. And that is the Catholic Gentleman's gift set. There is the Catholic Saint tea gift set. There's the Coffee Lover gift set. And then there is the Barbecue Master, Grill Master gift set. That comes complete with all 3 bottles of my rubs. So, look, we got you covered. You just got to go and shop with us today. And, of course, you can always give a Founder's Pass a gift card if you're not sure about buying for someone else right there, and any amount that you like. Go to shop.mikechurch.com. That's shop.mikechurch.com. All your shopping benefits Crusade Channel and the Crusade Radio Guild and everything that we do here. Money is fungible. Well, some of it is. In any event, shop with us today. Shop.mikechurch.com. And thank you very much in advance. And share the store with a friend or family member. If you're on Facebook, the store's on Facebook now. Makes it really easy to share. All right. Boy, these Supreme Court hearing clips are long. But let's get to what everyone really wants to hear.
Always complain about short clips.
No, I know.
Always complain about short clips. Now you have long ones. Now you complain about them being long.
I'm observing. I'm not complaining.
Okay.
That's an observation, ma'am. Take it back. Take it back. She just called me Schaefer. What's next? You're going to call me... I don't like Roberts. I don't mind hearing Gorsuch. 10. This is on the argument on the FTC or whether or not Rebecca Slaughter can be fired by Trump. This is so stupid. And the argument is so stupid.
Just want to explore, just for a brief minute, I hope, your scintilla of conclusive and preclusive power theory. You agree, I assume, the president is vested with all the executive power.
Yes.
You agree that he has a duty to faithfully execute all the laws.
Yes.
Civil and criminal.
We agree that the Constitution imposes on the president a duty to faithfully execute the laws.
All
Absolutely.
the laws.
Well,
some laws he doesn't have to. That'd be news to our friends across the street.
the take care clause is a duty, and it is also a power. But the text of the clause does not provide that the president must have at-will presidential.
I didn't ask that. This is, does he have a duty to faithfully execute all the laws?
We know from...
Yes or no?
I would say
Stop
no,
the tape for just a second.
No.
Stop the tape. Obama didn't execute all the laws. Justice Gorsuch. There's a precedent here. Obama didn't execute them all. I can tell you, he refused to execute the DOMA until he got Anthony Kennedy and SCOTUS to nuke it. There's so many instances where Obama refused to execute the law. Biden did not faithfully execute all the laws. You know, there's an argument to be made, and I'm trying to think how you want to say this. There is an argument to be made, a constitutional argument here that I could make in a debate with someone. There's an argument to be made that something that is not affirmative, then the negative exists as a positive. That sounds convoluted. Shall do something with a specific follow-up is an instance where you shall do this. The president may, or the president has power to fill up vacancies, as it said. He doesn't have to. Well, I mean, it's in... James Madison actually made this doctrine. It's not me making the doctrine. The Madison actually made the statement that if a negative does not exist, it's not stated, then the negative exists as a positive in the absence of in the absence of something that's imperative or whatever. So the Gorsuch argument here to me is that, and I'm sure that he's just trying to get him to admit something. He already knows what the law is. You're not a Scottish justice because you need to have some tin-horn Solicitor General of the United States explain the law to you. You already know what it is. If you don't, you shouldn't be on the court. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wouldn't obviously know that. I think that if you were to ask a framer of the Constitution, does the president have the duty to enforce all the laws faithfully? I think that a founder would say, well, that depends on what the law is. What if the president truly believes that's unconstitutional, I'm not enforcing it? What if it's not a law at all? What if it's a de facto? That's not a law. There's been more of a tradition. Well, presidents should do this, which Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's argument was. By the way, I haven't seen this anywhere else. This witch that was elected governor of Virginia, you know what one of her first moves was? She hired as assistant Virginia U.S. Attorney, something to that effect. She gave an official position to one of the people responsible for the FBI investigation into Catholics in Virginia. Remember when the FBI went after, and I'm trying to think of where I saw it. It was over the weekend, and of course I didn't save it, so here it is. Miranda Devine posted this. See how the deep state rewards its own. CIA operative and John Brennan protege turned Virginia Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger appoints Stanley Medor, the Hogwartian architect of the FBI's anti-Catholic targeting, as Virginia's Secretary of Homeland Security. And another guy says Stanley Medor oversaw the FBI Richmond field office's handling of Catholics attending the Latin Mass as anti-government, what are they called? Extremists. So, if you're a Catholic and you're living in the state of Virginia, there's a very good chance that the state of Virginia's government is now coming for you. And the religious liberty clauses in your state's constitution and in the federal constitution are probably not going to protect you. So just be aware that when Spanberger takes office, here, if you want to see what the Democrats are going to do, heaven forfend they ever get national power again, watch Virginia. Because remember, Glenn Youngkin has been running the state of Virginia, and running it well for a couple of years now, and pretty conservatively. So there are a lot of things that have happened under Governor Youngkin that this leftard is going to want to repeal, and is probably going to now want to go after, viciously speaking, in a vengeful manner, the people responsible for it wherever they can. So watch. So it's one of the saddest things to me. I grew up in Virginia. I love Virginia. I was, as a little children, a student of Virginia U.S. history, because there is no other history. And there's so much to learn about Virginia history, going all the way back to Jamestown, for heaven's sake. The Old Dominion has been turned into a satanic cesspool run by Satan-worshiping evil people. Yes, I said that. And outside of Glenn Youngkin, going around in his pickup truck and knocking on doors and running a brilliant campaign, is any Republican other than Youngkin? Well, he can run again, by the way. After he sits his term out, he can run again in 2 years. So he only has to sit one term out. Patrick Henry was governor 5 times of Virginia. Because the people kept going like, okay, you replaced Henry in one instance with Jefferson, and Jefferson sucked. People went, will you please give us Patrick Henry back? All right, since Magdalene is on the line, you have to play it. I guess you could start at the top. Digital media file number 12. Wait a minute. I gotta, I have to have the appropriate music for this. I'm just gonna, okay. I'm sure that this is not the perfect one. We have to have the appropriate music.
Turns blue. It won't be because of any one candidate, but because of each and every one of you doing your part. Turning Texas blue is what I want to talk to y'all about today. Now, there are those that say, ain't no way, we done tried it 50 kinds of ways. Let me be clear, y'all ain't never be used to telling us what I can't do, but they have no idea what Crockett's crew will do. And so I just want to be clear for all the haters in the back. Listen up real loud. We gonna get this thing done. So they tell us that Texas is red. They are lying.
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I
Now, Magdalene, you have to hear. Maggie, do you have the comparison clip? You have to hear Jasmine Crocker 2 weeks ago. Listen.
First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress.
Baby, because these people, they are crazy, because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers, interns, all the things. Yeah, you ain't got to believe me. Just go Google. You'll find some of it. I'm telling you, and the wives is being messy and petty. They putting it in.
Jasmine Crocker has been speaking relatively ungangsta, Magdalene. But last night, okay, you got to play the second one. 13. Last night, she unleashed, I mean, this is y'all. Well, let me tell you what be going on up in hell. Complete and total thug.
Right now, many people wonder why I jumped in this race so late, and I just want to be clear that this was never my intention. This was never about me. I never put myself into any of the polls.
Yes.
Listen, my question was, which congressional seat would I be running for? And for Texas 30, I love you, Texas 30.
All right, this is not the gangster one. Where's the thug one? Dude, everything we listened to this morning was thug. I didn't hear that one. That was not on my my ears radar.
I've got 2 more clips.
Well, you've got the one with the Trump supporters. I'm going to start thinking I'm hearing things.
You want her ad where it's just Trump?
No, I want her as Thug Life.
How you make voters who previously have voted for Trump, particularly given that you have been an outspoken critic and he has inserted himself, just take your campaign video as is. He has inserted himself at every turn when it comes to your commentary. How will you convert those who are supportive of him to voters for you?
Yeah, I don't know that we'll necessarily convert all of Trump supporters. That's not our goal.
Do you need to?
Our goal is to definitely talk to people. No, we don't. We don't need to. Our goal is to make sure that we can engage people that historically have not been talked to, because there's so many people that get ignored, specifically in the state of Texas. Listen, the state of Texas is 61% people of color. We have a lot of good folk that we can talk to.
All right,
we
stop,
know
all right,
that
stop
when
it.
Beto...
Okay, I guess the first clip was the only thug that we're going to get out of her. I heard thug this morning.
At her announcement, she was thug.
Okay.
We had 2 of those.
So, you had the one with her crying. Was there one before the crying?
No, I didn't put it on the...
Okay, all right. I wanted to hear the thug because she was talking thug, and now she's talking brown people. And then, right, well, that's the point. And then then she goes on CNN. She's talking brown people, 61%. Anyway, now, wait a minute. There's a lot of good people we could talk to. So you're saying if you're not a brown person, 39% of the people in Texas aren't good because they're not your skin color? Am I the only person that picks up on these little things like this? This woman is going to run a elect me because I'm Thug Life and I'm Black campaign and I'm not a white guy. You're not going to win Texas like that. So my take on this is just a grift campaign. Magdalene, you run for the Senate, you raise $30 million, and you spend $29.7 million on yourself.
Well, it's absolutely a grift campaign, and I think that if Ted Cruz was running against her, it would be harder for her. The problem is that she's running against somebody with very little energy in John Cornyn, and I worry about that. But at the end of the day, she's been trying this sort of like wise black woman thing that was very prevalent in 2016 for a while, and it hasn't hit. And I don't think it's going to. If Beto O'Rourke, with all of his money and all of his energy, couldn't get this done, I very much doubt that Jasmine Crockett could.
Well, is Cornyn a sure thing? I thought that Cornyn was maybe not going to be the guy this go around.
As of right now, it is. I don't know what it'll be in a week, but as of right now, that's who she'd go up against.
Because we're talking November 2026.
Yes. So he's indicating he's going to stay in. If not, I mean, the Texas Republicans are very, very much in the mindset of they don't like changes because Texas has become more competitive, and they're always concerned that they're going to get too much energy on the Democrat side. But as of right now, it's Cornyn. There are other choices, but I think it's safer with an incumbent.
You have Governor Abbott, you have Attorney General Patrick, you have several members of Congress. You got a railroad commissioner. There's plenty of candidates in Texas that are not low-energy Jeb.
Yes, and I think Jasmine Crockett is so ridiculous because she is a person of absolutely no accomplishment and no real ability either. Like, you can have ability and just not have accomplished things, yet she has neither. And I really think that she is the eventual accumulation of all the Democrat nonsense of just be fabulous and talk with a strange, accent that you didn't have 4 years ago, and you'll win.
Yeah, I mean, if the DNC, the Democrat National Circus, wants to put its eggs in the Jasmine Crockett basket and eyeing that as a seat that they think that they can pick up, I mean, hey, God love you. I am so happy that you nominated her. You know, that punk kid, what's his name? The one that's the pro-abort, who is he's the David Boss Hogg of Texas. What the hell's that kid's name? He's a Democrat. Oh, no, I know his name because I saw him on Fox News last night. He's the one that he was on with Joe Rogan, and he was talking about abortion and about how I'm a Christian abortionist, and the Christians of the 4th century said whatever his name is. He was like, yeah, we got a high energy candidate. We're gonna win Texas. And I'm like, you haven't won a statewide seat in 30 years in Texas, son. And I don't think that if you think that Jasmine Crockett is your girl, if that is your strategy, I can't wait to see what other candidates you field in other states.
Well, it's very true. And Democrats, I think, are a little bit in a place where they don't know what to move forward with. Jasmine Crockett is so ridiculous because she has literally not even accomplished anything in Congress. I mean, this has not even been like a lion of Congress for Democrats. I think that Democrats greatly underestimate how annoying it is to listen to her. If I listen to her for several hours, I can't stand it. I don't even feel like wrapped up over it. I'm just bored and annoyed.
Tallarico. James Tallarico. Darn it. I knew it. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but it popped into my head.
So if you put her on airwaves constantly, if you blanket Texas with Jasmine Crockett's position on things, does anyone really think that's going to win over voters? And she herself knows that she won't win over voters. This will be a base election, and our base is much bigger in Texas.
Did you see her rollout campaign ad?
I did.
All right, run the Jasmine Crockett campaign ad. This is campaign ad number 1. Brace yourselves, folks.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man. She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
That's her ad. It's her as the angry, shunned the Michelle Obama, Big Mike staring at the camera while Trump plays in the background. Does this motivate the anti-Trump base in Texas, or is this aimed specifically at this is a black on white campaign. It's black and brown Texas versus white Texas.
I don't think it particularly motivates the anti-Trump base. I mean, Beto O'Rourke works like a dog to get elected. I'm not someone who thinks that he's a lazy campaigner. I think that he works very hard. I just don't think people like him. So when he was out there running, and he also tried to advise other Democrats on how to flip it, he couldn't get traction. And I think the Democrat position is you need someone of color to get traction. Why you would not pick a Hispanic candidate is baffling to me. So you're going to run in Texas, and you're not going to pick a Hispanic candidate. You're going to give away that opportunity. I just don't think it makes it a serious candidate. There's also the complete possibility that the DNC does not support this, doesn't like it, and is trying to stay out of it. I might believe that more than they believe Jasmine Crockett can flip Texas for them.
Pigs, you will see pigs fly. The Eagles will be playing a concert in hell that's frozen. And I'm trying to think of the other possibilities here. Again, this is a grift candidacy here. This is, I'm going to raise tens of millions of dollars, and I'm going to travel all around the places I always wanted to go in first-class luxury. I'm going to hire all of my homies and homeboys and what have you. They're all going to be. This is just Kamala Harris 2.0. This is Kamala Harris, cackling, heels up Harris 2.0 without the heels in the air. And I don't know, maybe the heels are in the air. Not going anywhere. Anyone that wants to take that bet, I will bet you whatever I have to bet, whatever I own. A house, a couple of cars. That is not the future senator of Texas. Not going to happen. All right, moving on. Yesterday. So at the White House, there was the meeting with Economic Roundtable The lady came in from the American rice growers, and she told Trump, "Look, we're having to compete against slave labor from Thailand and from India and from China." And Trump looked surprised, and he looked at Scott Bessent and he went, wait a minute. Did we exempt India? India's got a tariff. How is this happening? Did we exempt India on the rice?" And Scott Bessent says, no, sir. And I go, "Scott, write this down." It was a moment for me. If you want to know, if you want Church's maximum on what presidential power is, watch that video, because Scott Bessent stops what he's doing, reaches across the table for a pad of paper and a pen, and starts writing. That's what a president does. And he said it to him right there. And I'm wondering the same thing. I'm going, wait a minute. I thought we were tariffing foreign rice and foreign edibles. But it was the beginning of the meeting that I guess he's going to Pennsylvania today to roll out the affordability. We're working on affordability for you, right?
Yeah, and Susie Wiles has been talking about how in the next 6 months or so, the administration is going to begin rolling out initiatives and really campaigning. And her position was, we're going to campaign like it's 2024. And I think that I'll tell you, the reaction to that on social media on the conservative side was not positive, because people feel like she's really out of touch. And there's been accusations that she's curbed more of the radical changes that someone like Stephen Miller and Russell Vought wanted to do. And so for her to sort of go along with Trump going and doing this, for her to say that we're going to campaign like 2024 and that level of energy, I think it's impractical for Trump at his age and with the amount of responsibility he has.
So when you see campaign like 2024, you mean the big Trump live Trump rallies? Because remember, he said at the last one in 2024, he goes, "This is the last time we're all going to be together. Yeah. I'm not doing it again this time. I'm not doing it again." So in order to save the midterms, I guess the strategy is that he is going to have to go out on the trail.
She said that specifically.
Okay, so why are conservatives, what is the pushback? I'm not following.
The fact that he just is very busy. And the feeling was, especially with commentary after the fact, reacting to her. She was doing a sit-down interview. They were saying, how is he going to do that and run the country? He's also, I think it's fair to say he's much older. He has a lot of responsibility in his plate. Not that he's mentally declined, but just physically, it's a lot of work. And the safety concerns. And the feeling was, so you've had a year to plan, and if your plan is just to put him on the campaign trail, that feels like a lazy strategy. That was sort of the takeaway.
I have a better idea, and it requires a lot less Trump and a lot more Johnson, and that is pass the damn agenda. Nuke the flipping filibuster. Get rid of it. Even if you just get rid of it and you reinstate it on November the 2nd, you can do that. You have the votes to do it. Nuke it and then reinstate it when you're finished. There's no one says that the change has to be permanent. Nuke the filibuster, get the 12 spending appropriations bill out of Congress, and then take that back to the breadbasket of America and say, this is what we did. This is contract with America stuff here. Where is Speaker Gingrich on this? There has to be someone with political smarts out there that can put this together. This is not that difficult.
No, well, his wife is ambassador to, it's either Sweden or Switzerland, so he doesn't really make comments on things anymore to respect her position. But I haven't really heard any criticism. I haven't heard anyone bring up contract with America, anything along those lines. I once went to a D.C. event in 2019. I remember Corey Lewandowski saying, well, we're just going to campaign like we did last year. That didn't go well. I think Susie Wiles is a little bit behind the ball here.
And don't forget, even though the Republicans won the House back in 2022, the Alexorcism campaign, as I called it, they only won it back by 4 seats. So I don't get it. I don't understand that. And I don't, Trump's not the kind of guy that's just going to sit back and go, I'm just going to let him take it to me and we're going to just accept defeat. He's not George W. Bush with the infamous, we had a good old-fashioned butt whooping in 2006. That's not Donald Trump. So, and you're right. There's a lot to running the executive branch of the United States. Now, Gingrich's wife, Callista, did get appointed as ambassador for the United States to the Vatican. So I don't think that Newt is on the outs with Trump. Is that what you're saying? He's on the outs?
That was the first administration. No, the first administration, she was that, and now she's either ambassador to Sweden or Switzerland. Well, no, what I'm saying is he had said that he's going to let her shine. So he sort of stepped back from commentary a little bit to not get in the way of her ambassadorship.
Oh, I got it. No, okay, understood. And then there is the, okay, what's happening in, I was looking at our pile here. Florida has designated, okay, look. I mentioned this earlier. Florida designates Muslim Brotherhood CARE as terror groups. The move mirrors a similar action taken by Texas. DeSantis wrote on X, Florida agencies are hereby directed to undertake all lawful measures to prevent unlawful activities by these organizations, the Muslim Brotherhood and the Council on American Islamic Relations, which, by the way, used to be a legal lobbyist in Mordor. At 9/11, and shortly thereafter, CAIR had offices in Washington, and they had lobbyists, just like AIPAC. I haven't kept up with it much from there, but I guess once an Islamist organization, always an Islamist organization. On his way out the door, Governor Ron DeSantis is breathing fire. I think that you could pretty much say that the DeSantis 2028 campaign will begin with the end of his governorship in Florida.
I would agree with that, and I think that's why he doesn't so much care about this Florida governor's election. He doesn't have a dog in this fight yet. I don't know if he ever will. And DeSantis is interesting because I think if Charlie Kirk hadn't been assassinated, it would have been much harder for him to become president, in that he was close to the Turning Point operation because he respected Charlie, and he was in that. That's very different now. He doesn't like Vance. Everyone knows that he doesn't like Vance. He really hates Gavin Newsom. So I think if you line those two people up, he looks at Gavin Newsom and he thinks, I have a real track record to run on. I have real accomplishments. I've fought the liberal machine. You haven't, to Vance. I'm a better choice. And Jewish donors are 10 times more likely to give to DeSantis than they are to Vance.
Okay. Magdalene Rosa, our political affairs contributor. Maggie, I sent you a clip. I talked to you about it just a little bit earlier. Now, I don't even know who this comedian woman is. Who is this woman? And I wasn't quite understanding what your point was. Play the clip. Okay, here we go.
TikTok is weird. You can't pause and start.
Okay.
Just to start, you gotta be a divorced dad, because I want a man that's been pre-yelled at. I want that cast iron skillet seasoned. I want a man whose inner spirit has already been crushed by his ex-wife, my guardian angel, my master, my Sifu, who has ordered him around to death and taken half of his money so that I seem like an easygoing cheerleader in comparison. One woman's trash is another woman's trained trash.
You're saying that, what, this is young conservative women's point of view, or this is Cougar's point of view?
This is the predominantness of what they discuss on the left amongst women. And conservative women were horrified by it. And this comedian, she used to do a lot of comedy about how happy she was with her husband, and then they got divorced. And now her entire feed is filled with this. And what was happening on TikTok, where women were saying, yeah, that's the way for someone to hate you. That's the way for someone to never want to be with you. But I think we have kind of believed that the country's gotten a lot more conservative. And amongst young women and like women in their 20s and 30s, this is the viewpoint. That's why no one's getting married, pretty much.
Now, wait a minute. Now, young women in their 20s and 30s wouldn't be finding very many men who would be divorced and have children.
Oh, no, they want those men. No, they very much want those men because they feel like they're stable. They don't have to go through the whole what are you going to be process. That's the hot dating commodity right now.
Interesting. Let's just scratch all that for a second. Last week, thefederalist.com had an article. I kid anyone not. The title of the article was Top 10 Gifts to Give for Trad Wives. Where's the disconnect here? So you have one magazine that is saying, like, well, hey, trad wives are all the rage now. Here's great gifts to give a trad wife. And then you have this divorced hoes gone wild on TikTok or all the rage who don't want to be wives, or if they do, they want a husband that has been well seasoned. So they want someone that in the old days used to say, I guess, henpecked, or a certain other noun, whooped. Which is it?
Well, it's the two sides of where we are. There's no middle ground. There used to be a middle ground of people maybe were just in traditional marriages or just traditional gender roles. It's the two extremes. And if you notice the women who are constantly criticizing someone like Caroline Levitt or Melania on the left, they're getting more rabid. They're getting nastier. They go after Erica Kirk all the time. Meanwhile, the trad wife group is growing. So if you're in that middle, if you're not particularly religious as a man, but you're a sane person, you're a fiscal conservative, you know you have to have a strong border, who are you dating? Because a lot of men don't want to do the trad wife thing. They're not religious. They're not called to feel anything in this moment in their lives right now. And that's the divide. And people are wondering, why is nobody getting married? It's because young Christians and conservatives have an infrastructure to get married. Those men in the middle don't.
Okay, somebody makes a comment in the chat room. That's funny. So liberal women are witches and only cats can put up with them is what the message is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I went to Mass last night at St. Patrick's on Camp Street in New Orleans, to the traditional Latin Mass, and 250, 300 people there. I'd say a quarter of that audience was young people. I could have picked out with my own hands, had I wanted to play dating game or Catholic dating game, I could have picked out a half a dozen young men and paired them up immediately last night with a half a dozen young single women. All single guys, all single girls, coming together in packs, basically. So I think that the dynamic is there. And that you're going to, I think that the return to order, as John Horvath puts in, a return to tradition, that it is afoot. But you got 50 years of angry, ugly women, feminism, and misanthropy to undo here. You hope that it could happen overnight, but I don't know that it's going to happen overnight. But it is happening out there.
Well, it is, and I think that the problem is it's not catching up to the demand that men have to get married. And that's the divide here. And Tucker Carlson was talking about this with Nick Fuentes as well in one of the saner parts of that interview, where he was basically saying, as a young man, I think Nick is like 28, why is this happening? And he was saying, well, because the political and sociological breakdown in beliefs between men and women is so large, there's no bridging it. If you are somebody who wants to get married and you're very religious, there is an infrastructure to find that. But for those sort of like Midwesterners who are not particularly religious, who are not in that way, who used to get married and they became part of the middle class and were very stable, that's the problem. That when people say, why is America in so much trouble, that group of people is struggling, and they're not particularly diehard conservatives. There's nobody to talk to them.
Okay, finally, Nick Fuentes went on last night with Piers Morgan. We watched about, 10 minutes of it or so. What's that? Well, Piers Morgan was trying. No, that's not all. I live in London. It's a perfectly diverse city with all these people here. And Fuentes would crack a joke or two. I don't know. Did you see the interview? See any part of it?
I did.
Okay. So now I'm trying to figure out here. There is an opportunity here for conversions. There's a massive opportunity here for conversions. I didn't watch the whole thing, and maybe somebody other, come on, TKD, he did a good job of it. I don't see this Nick Fuentes gentleman. I do not see him as the force for conversions. I see him as maybe for a divider for people who have already chosen a side. But I don't see a lot of hope in the future that this is not a media John the Baptist who is paving the way for he who is to come. If he is, then I didn't see it in the Morgan interview, and I just think that was just another. Was it good for you and your gang of people that are fans? Probably. They probably going like, yeah. Didn't motivate me at all. I didn't get anything out of it. So is this what? I guess this is the play with all this newfound fame and notoriety. That's what he's going to do with it.
I guess so. Piers Morgan is kind of ridiculous to me because he knows that he lives in a police state. And so he knows that he literally, as a human being, cannot say words that are unthreatening to people because he'll be arrested. So when Nick Fuentes goes on a show and calls that out, or Tucker Carlson did that as well with Piers Morgan, I think a couple months back, it's disingenuous. And I think that Piers Morgan is having Fuentes on because Fuentes is interesting enough for people to tune in.
Sure.
And he can say interesting enough things.
Oh, I find him very interesting.
I
didn't say he was uninteresting. No, don't get me wrong. I just don't. I don't see any conversions coming out of. Go ahead, Maggie.
No, I was just going to say the one thing I really did like about that interview is Nick didn't stop. He didn't back down.
He didn't.
Yeah, I said what I said, and it's still right. It's still correct today. So, what do you think about that?
No.
I liked his pushback about how Pierce was saying, well, you got guns and mass murders and this, that, and the other, and with your immigrants, and Nick was like, yeah, well, you have stabbings and you have, like Aladdin.
No, the funniest part when he goes, what do you have? You got stabbings and you have Aladdin. So with some humor there. Maybe I have a higher bar set for people, but again, if conversion and because at the end of the day, if you were okay, so give me what is your great final your final hurrah, Mike? The last thing that you like to do in broadcasting, or that you want to people go like, yeah, that was the guy that did whatever. I would say that, man, to be blessed with the grace to say that he brought many people to or back to the faith. That will take care of itself. I don't have to do anything else after that. Once they have been brought to or back to the faith, then Mary has them. St. Joseph has them. The Holy Ghost has them. I don't need to do anything else. So I guess that's my point and we're not talking about this, and I think it's wrong. And I think that Catholics in media, that's what you ought to be talking about. Yeah, but you say entertain. I can still entertain, and harbor thoughts in my mind that every now and then I'm going to drop a little Catholicism in. And if it rubs off on somebody and they go like, oh, I asked this question because I heard Mike Church say, and I never heard that before. Well, then that's the thing. I don't hear that with him is my point.
Well, I don't hear that either. And I think Nick Fuentes as well has made it very clear that now he's shifted to focusing on politics. And
okay.
He used to be somebody who talked heavily about Catholicism, about bringing people to the church, all of that, how it was the one truth that he knew in his life. I think that's dissipated a little bit because, again, in the conservative world, Protestantism is the king.
Yep.
And I think he's trying to get traction. And he can't, in his mind, I think he can't fight every battle. He can't try to get to new political commentary, leadership heights, and also try to win over Protestants. I think that's the difference.
Well, I think that tradition, again, is king, which is why I brought the trad wife story up from the Federalist. John Horvat in his book, which is sold now 600,000 copies, might even be more than that, Return to Order. The return to order is going to be a return to tradition. It's I think, a fascinating thing that if you were to break down President Trump's success, what is he primarily? What is the product? It's tradition.
Yeah, and beauty.
Yeah, and beauty. He's not introducing anything that's new or progressive. And no, it's not all correct, and I don't get behind all of it. There's a lot that's not correct. But at the end of the day, it is tradition. Tradition, not the kind from the Fiddler on the Roof, but And I think that tradition is ultimately king. And I think that in just look around you in pop culture in general, it's not a wave, it's a ripple, it's a pebble, and like it's a ripple, but there is a desire, or there is a movement afoot, I believe, to return to tradition. And look, it's simpler. It simplifies a lot. It makes a lot of things that you do a lot easier to decide whether or not you ought to do them. It just does, kind of by definition. So I'd like to see more young people that are outspoken. And I think there's some of that in what Nick is doing. But look, a foul-mouthed traditionalist is not a traditionalist. You know, there are certain people that have taken religious vows out there, and God bless them, and I thank them for it privately every time they do it, who will send me little private notes and go, come on, Mike, that's beneath you. You said blah. And I went, you know what? You're right. It was a moment of weakness. I shouldn't have done it. I'm going to work harder on getting better at it. I don't think that you can be a foul-mouthed traditionalist. I think that that's a contradiction in terms. So, and I think that the return to tradition. Look, what is traditional about labor? Doing it with your hands. There was a story, Mike Parrott and I talked about it just the other day. There was a story that came out the week of Thanksgiving. It was about 10 things that Magdalene Rose's generation can't do. Did you see the story?
No.
Oh, you didn't see it? You know, I should give you the quiz. Maggie, can you Google that for me real quick? It'll come right up. 10 things Gen Zers can't physically do, but need to relearn how to do. Number one was like, here, okay, all right, Magda, we're gonna quiz you. Can you read a map?
I can actually read a map.
You can read a map.
Yeah, but I also have older parents. Like, this is the other thing. I was not raised by millennials, so there's a little bit of an advantage there.
Okay, all right. Okay. Are there 10 skills that Gen Z? Here it is. Well, the story's all over the place. You can find it in like 100 different languages now. All right, so 10 old-fashioned things Gen Z people refuse to do anymore. No, that's a different one. So there are people who are taking. So there's all manner of different takes. Okay, so one of them. Can you write cursive?
I can, but I was the last generation to even be taught it in kindergarten.
So the answer is no. Okay. Can you read cursive?
No.
No. You can't read cursive. You see here, folks? Okay. Can you do simple multiplication and subtraction without a calculator?
Yes.
Okay.
But no, the generation after me cannot.
But you, the next generation can't. Well, Maggie, this is a different list, actually. This one is commit to traditional etiquette, expectations and manners is one. Read physical maps.
Balancing a checkbook?
Yeah. Can you balance a checkbook?
No, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that.
All right. Can you work in an in-person office environment?
I probably could. I don't, but I probably could.
Okay, you probably could. Okay.
You still use Facebook.
You still use Facebook. Another one was, and you actually can do this one. I happen to actually know that you can. Most of your generation can. Can you actually communicate primarily using a telephone?
Yes. Yes, I can.
There we go. And then there were, okay. So can you physically build anything, no matter what it is, with your bare hands?
No, but my husband can, and we're the same generation.
Okay. Here's the big one, Magdalene. Can you drive a stick shift?
No.
Oh, Now, you may go, what do we need to drive a stick shift for? Well, if you ever get out in the great blue yonder, like Daniel, when he's out there in logging country, they don't have automatics for logging trucks. So I know he can drive a stick shift. And I think that the point is some of these things are like, these are existential. So, to rely upon AI to do them, like, can you, all right, if I dropped you off at the Manchester, New Hampshire Public Library or the University of New Hampshire's Public Library, could you use the Dewey Decimal System card catalog, and can you actually find things in an actual library and do your research analog?
Not with that system. No. I don't think anyone in my generation has taught that.
People will find this fascinating and interesting, but when the script to the Road to Independence, the first documentary, was written, it was all analog. All of it. The only thing that was digitized, and that was just because it had just been recently digitized, and it was easier than carrying a 16-volume set around, and that was the letters of the delegates to Congress in the First Continental and Second Continental Congress. I actually went in to write The Spirit of 76 and The Fame of Our Fathers. I actually went to the library and I got copies of Max Farron's Records of the Federal Convention. I had dozens of books. As a matter of fact, my daughters and I would go to the library on an adventure to see if we could find these books. Some of them I had to check out of the library at LSU. Paper books are always going to be there, and I must tell you that today, if you force me to, I could go back to doing it analog. I know how to do it. And I think that the reliance on all things digital is, what happens if there is if there's an electrical outage? What happens if all the cell towers go down? What will people do? They will be left completely unable to do the simplest, most basic things that a human ought to be able to do.
That reminds me, when I was like 19, my godfather and I were in New York City, and he's like very much a metropolitan guy, and he lives there. And we were talking about what happens if there's an apocalypse, and he looked around, and we were in a New York City food court, and he's like, oh, well, I'll be fighting over the last organic cucumber and scraping leather off designer bags while everybody in the countryside is having steak. And I think that's kind of the feeling.
All right, well, we're going to have to work on all these analog things. When I was in school, the cursive thing was like mandatory, and you got graded on it. If your teacher could not read your cursive, you were getting an F. It was as simple as that. Which is why they invented lined paper, because lined paper was a 20th century invention. And people people were going like, y'all are just a bunch of lazy slobs. You need lines on your paper. Back in my day, in the old days in the old country, we didn't need lines on paper. Now we don't need paper at all. Actually, something that people actually used to write us for and used to ask me to do for them was to send them a Mike Church family crest, signed, handwritten note, signed with my wax seal and real sealing wax, which I think we sent like 8 people requested them, and we sent 8 of them out. But didn't you say the other day that they got a new gizmo out they're selling at Amazon where they are making the hot wax like in a glue gun? So people, I think wax sealing is actually making a comeback.
Oh yeah, people love that, but they love it also for like when you're doing book launches now. The top 1,000 fans or whatever will get a book like that. There was like a romance book on TikTok recently that had that go out to the top 1,000 fans. So
what are you saying? So you get a signed copy of the book that has a wax seal on it?
Yeah, they wrap it in brown paper and they'll wax seal it, and then they'll do a calligraphy writing to you.
Oh, I wonder if an Amazon computer is doing the calligraphy or someone is actually writing it.
I think someone is writing it, but I think a computer will eventually do it.
then it's not the same. Then it's not well, I guess you have one step at a time. Oh, all right, okay. I am traveling tomorrow, so I will not be, the show is not live tomorrow, but we will, God willing, be back live on Thursday and Friday from Northern Virginia. So we will see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, if you get a machine to do your cursive, then it's not cursive. Nope. Literally, it's not. It's cheating. You know, somebody told me 2 days ago that, I can't remember what the conversation was, but somebody told me that they were working on, I said, what are you doing? Or why are you here? Why are you there? And they told me, like, well, I have been going to Amazon warehouses primarily because they are adding to the automation systems. And I'm like, how can they automate it more? How is that even possible? Apparently, they have now figured out, this ought to creep the crap out of people. This ought to creep the you-know-what out of people. Apparently, one of the previous limitations, and I don't pretend to know anything about this, apparently one of the previous limitations was the robots couldn't go vertical. They had all of the lateral, horizontal stuff figured out. They can zig, they can zag, they can figure out what row they're on. As long as they're touching the ground, they can do this, and then they can go to the end of the aisle, the middle of it, or whatever. But they apparently they were having difficulty with getting the robots to climb, I guess, robot ladders. And I'm not actually sure how that works. Because an Amazon warehouse has levels. You know, it's levels of stacks of crap that you get. Apparently, they have figured out now, or someone has figured out, how to get the robots to go. And I don't mean that they're jumping, but they can apparently climb digital versions or some sort of a robotic version of stepladder. And they can get to the second level, the third level, or whatever, and then they get to that level, and then I guess they go horizontal. They probably model this on something like the overhead cam that they use on football games now. That's on a pulley system that can go pretty much in any direction. In any event, because I asked him, I'm like, they're still doing robotic work? And he goes, yeah, and then humans actually have to do it. And that's what he told me that they were doing. In any event, folks, shop in the store with us today, shop.mikechurch.com. You can get one of these gift cards in any amount and give it to a friend, family member, or frenemy, and give the gift of the Crusade Channel 5 gift sets, hundreds of books, our gourmet coffees, which are second to none. There's 7 varieties of our gourmet coffee. Either we make it, Capuchin Holy Roast, or the brothers at the Silver City, New Mexico, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Abbey make it for Abbey Roast. All that is still in the Trade and Post store. None of it's in. Handmade rosaries. What a great Christmas gift. Maggie has like 35 or 40 of them still remaining there. Talk about giving a great personalized gift. Get someone a rosary. Shop.mikechurch.com. Give the gift of the and all the other the cigar and indestructible humidor that we used to sell. We still do. You want a refill for that? We have them. I only have 5 of them, but we have them. Let's go to the Crusade Channel. So shop today. Shop.mikechurch.com. The Crusade Channel gift membership. $20 gets your friend, family member, or frenemy 3 months. $50 gets them a year. That's a great deal. That's $135 savings. Give the gift to the Crusade Channel. You just give them the card. You can even check a box when you give the card, asking us for Cajun Mama to nag your friend to cash the gift membership in once a week, once every other week, once a month, or never. So if you want us to stay on top of it and make sure that they actually redeem the card, we will do that. Shop with us today at the Founders Trade and Post store, shop.mikechurch.com. Give the gift memberships crusadechannel.com/card. And thank you very much in advance. I am traveling this afternoon. God willing, we all arrive where we're going safely. So see you on Thursday live from King George, Virginia. Until then, have a safe, blessed remainder of the day. Oh, wait. Episode 18, Mom's Murders and Mysteries. Mosher just noted me. It's done. He said it sounds great. This one is all about the little girl who starts the whole thing off. Her name is, and this is almost personal for me, Heather Dawn Church, is killed in 1991. And we'll tell you the story of how her killer was caught. Oh, but he's not just Heather Dawn Church's killer. A great episode of Mom's Murders and Mysteries coming up next here on the Crusade Channel. Live talk radio the way it should be. See you on Thursday. God bless you and Mary keep you.